First half, and a spoil by Brent Evans. John Clarkson on the boundary.
Just confirming the interchange players to Luca, Robinson, Gill and Phibbs for Port Melbourne, Chambers, O'Brien, Foster and Playfair for Geelong. Danny O'Brien still can't get a start on the ground.
Yes, he's a great goal kicker. Bennett, 2-on-1. Mitch wraps him up. Ricks, plenty of time. The youngster, inside 50, a push and shove. Stevens, was he holding? I think he was. And Mitchell White will get the free. What do you think, Phil?
Probably there. It was just amazing, that last
two on one, two for a stop play.
I know. It was a stop play. No one went near it.
It's unbelievable. Geelong went in underman for a boundary throw-in.
You know, I thought my eyes were deceiving me. I just looked down the page for a second.
Mensch, good strong mark by David Mensch.
Gee, it's a good contest, this one. Bennett and Mensch, isn't it?
Can't afford to take you off the ball, Phil.
No, you can't, Ross. I got into trouble a couple of times doing that too.
Mensch at half-back. Kicks in short, which is good. And the mark taken by David Johnson. His kick up towards centre wing. Playfair. Oh, nearly stubbed his toe. Comes out to Woolnough. Just gets clear with the hand pass to Steve Johnson. A centering ball. And McGrath up the ground. Back to Steve Johnson. 55 out. Kicks long towards the goal square. Want to mark Geelong. Ablett's there to rove. And it's taken out of defence by Obst. Played it really well. And a further hand pass comes to Brockman, a former Geelong player himself. Kick up towards centre wing. All Geelong numbers here. Mensch is playing just behind the play, but the hand pass was after he took the ball over the line to Slade, and it'll be a boundary throw-in. Terrific crowd in almost summery conditions.
Yes, they're just on the edge of the seat, too, just wondering where this game's going to go, but it's good signs for the Borough. Good signs, I reckon.
Over the back was Rex, Philandia and Chatfield, and Philandia wins the free. Bit lucky, the Port captain, but he was just in front. There's a shot of pretty good crowd here at Optus. Geelong, well supported. Can they win a flag since 82? As Port likewise try to. Fisted away from Stevens by Mitchell White was good. Well, I don't think they can play on now. There'll be a bounce. And Phil, Adam Schneider worked hard to get the ball out of defence before. Has only played 2 games this year. Glandular fever, a bit of an elbow injury, and so it's a risk, but he's a quality player, obviously.
20-year-old, you know, Swan, they need him to be able to run the game out, and one would hope, Ross, that with that sort of problem, he is super fit, because it's a day when you're going to need some interchange.
White won that, but Slade gave it to Mitchell White. Loose ball. O'Loughlin showed courage. Mensch couldn't get there in time to make the contest.
Great work by Bennett, though, Roscoe. Just kept him, held him off just enough within the rules. He's really in the game, Bennett. Got a big job on Mensch, and Mensch is not able to exert influence yet.
O'Loughlin, beautiful kick. Mark taken by Ricks. Back to Bennett. Bennett from the centre circle. Plenty of height. Ablett's down there for Port Melbourne. He's at the back, a chance. Crashes through McGrath. McGrath's lost it. And over the ball is Scott Stevens. And now this is an important ball up for Port Melbourne. If they can win a clean possession here, they're 25 metres from goal.
Well, Playfair goes on down the other end too. Another tall back into the forward half. And Big Chambers stands up. Gee whiz, there's some tall timber.
Low scoring, just a goal each. Alloy misses with the hand pass. Comes back into the pack. Bartel, very clever player. Half the season AFL, half in VFL. But the kick by Riley sails out of bounds on the full. O'Loughlin wants to take it quickly. He's 60 metres from goal. And Hunt stands the mark really well. It was a beautiful kick into Evans, who was the sole goal scorer for Port.
A lot of players in the back half. Geelong have pulled a lot back in. That's why the Borough are messing around with it, trying to find a path.
Bennett,
another one.
Just need to be patient, and they were. They've got it back to near the 50. And the short pass by McMahon finds Alloy, and he is about 40 metres out. So that was really well worked by Port Melbourne. And you can see that their teamwork, which has stood them in good stead all season, counted then.
My word, Drew, they've worked their way down inside 50. Geelong player there, Woolnough, I think it was, in trouble there, and he couldn't get to him. See, Woolnogh's just out of screen.
Did he do the splits? He looked as though he slipped and might have pulled a groin or something.
He was certainly worried, and Alloy just snuck away. A little bit of luck. This bloke is a very good kicker of the football. This is well within his range and capabilities.
Tony Alloy for Port. Well, it's to the top of the goal square. Clearances the umpire. White goes for the boundary line and finds it.
Borough just really keeping themselves well and truly in the game, testing. They need, I would say, their confidence would be up now. They really think that they can probably match it, Roscoe.
Chambers, the other ruckman, with Street sitting on the bench. Mitchell White started well in defence for the Cats, but he's kicked to a horde of Burrows out there. Ricky O'Loughlin, loving the open spaces. Thought about Evans. Kicks long inside 50, but deep in the pocket.
Oh!
Johnson got a fist on it. There's Schneider, 36. Couldn't take it, and the Cats will
pressure.
Riley
Good work.
kept it in and long enough not to give away the free.
Nearly a deliberate.
What do you think? A low-scoring game, is that going to suit Port? They don't want a shootout, do they?
Oh, I think that's right, Drew. If it's low-scoring, you'd reckon the Cats, it gives Port the better chance, without a doubt.
Nearly deliberate out of bounds there by the Burrowfield, as they got the smother on. O'Loughlin did well. Fed it off. Danger for the Cats. Woolno lunged with a spoil on Alloy. McMahon finding some space. Couldn't find Philandia.
Oh!
Luke Ablett, Slade in the way. The half-back. Oh, he's found a man too. James Bartell kicks quickly. Up to half forward. Down goes McCarthy, losing his footing. Kelly hasn't had a lot of it. Spins around and kicks deep inside 50. Ablett waiting for the fall. Playfair there too. Look at the Cats coming. Three of them. And good play, Evans. Playfair, Ablett, he's got one. Dishes it out. And a goal. Playfair kicks it. Great touch by Ablett and good work by the Cats. End-to-end footy.
Yes, it was, Ross. And Nick Gill had just come on the ground. David Dunbar made the change. When he saw Playfair go on, he sent Gill out. Gill was in that contest. And poor old Gill, or poor young Gill, I should say, Nick Gill, he goes into the contest, does all right. You see him there, number 25. But Ablett weaves a little bit of Ablett magic there, you see. Drew, we talked about him handballing. He's a creative player, isn't he? That's good. I think the Cats, I know they'd like to see him kick more goals, but that's good play.
In the qualifying final, Ablett's first 8 or so possessions were all hand passes. We waited a long time for him to get a kick.
Yeah, he's only kicked 16 goals in 11 games, 17 today.
Bounce favours Chambers. He's run into him and will take a free kick. That's to go to Bartell. Bartell pops it out wide. Hunt inside the 50. Good kick. Not quite the mark here to Chapman. Chapman goes to ground, regains his footing, centres the ball, and Hunt had fired right up from winning the possession in midfield to take the mark. And Josh Hunt, who was their leader in the Liston on Monday with 11 votes and the Cats' first pick in the 2000 draft, all the way up from the last line of defence, is shooting for goal.
And he's a big kick, this bloke. Beautiful left footer, powerhouse. You bang this into the Carlton Social Club, one would think. Will it go between the big sticks? You'd reckon so.
Kick by Hunt in perfect conditions, and he gets the goal.
Well, now you see some signs, a little bit of trouble there, some worry for the Port Melbourne side, because what was significant about that, I would say, is the way they use that football. And Hunt running on. Chapman comes out. Look at this. Spots Hunt drifting right down. He doesn't really drift. He powerhouses down the ground. And they've got to make good use of the football, the Borough. Their kicking is not as sleek as the Cats.
You can notice the Cats are finding more space, aren't they,
Yeah.
Phil? It's just wider. I mean, the measurements don't say it somehow. I don't know who was measuring it. A real estate agent, perhaps. With all greatest respect to you, Johnny, on the boundary. John Clarkson. That does seem much wider. Ricks wins it down to Philandia. They haven't been able to clear the ball from the centre bounces as they did earlier in the weeks. There's McInerney. Nick McInerney, who was the sudden withdrawal. He was in his footy gear out there for the warm-up, but they pulled a Swifty, although a lot of people sort of thought it was going to happen. John.
As you said, Ross, Geelong are using what's called a horseshoe forward line, leaving a big gap at centre half forward, aiming to kick into space, and Dave Dunbar trying to close the game down. Yeah,
and it's working for them. Bit of luck too. O'Loughlin had a lot of it. Out hit him at Marn. Chatfield's got him. Found a man. Was Phibbs. Now Anstey. Little chip will be all right to O'Keefe. Hasn't had a lot of it, Ryan O'Keefe. Now there's a short on from Phibbs, who loves a goal, and he's tight in the pocket. Kicked 25 so far in just 12 matches. Phibbs, he just comes around a bit, trying to improve the angle. Umpire won't be fooled.
Still reckon he conned a few degrees there, but anyway, did pretty well.
He lays it off to O'Loughlin outside 50.
It's a problem for them.
Stevens makes a lead, but in the meantime, Philandia receives it, kicks goal, a la Bill Swan, won't quite have the legs. And Slade gets a touch on it for the captain.
Can't find targets, see, it's a big problem for them, isn't it? They just can't find targets inside 50. They're working hard the back line for the Port side, but struggling up in their own forward half.
Kick in is a beauty, marked by Woolno, just outside the 50. And his kick not too good. O'Loughlin chops it off, fires out the quick hand pass. Brockman to full forward, and Alloy takes the mark, well within kicking distance, but a tight angle. You can hear the umpire saying, no, Wheels. Wheels Alloy. Great nickname.
Well, blokes like this have got to kick the goals, Drew. He's a skilled player and a skilled goal kicker. And when they get these opportunities, they must put them through. He doesn't get a stack of possessions, but the ones he gets, he's got to get 100% return from.
They trail 3-1. Alloy's kick slightly across the face and through for a behind.
And if they don't, they'll be chasing leather.
Phil Adrian DeLuca is a tall 200 on the bench, but he's probably, there's a second ruckman to Ricks against Street.
I thought they might have lined him up in the forward half, Ross, you know.
Yep, been a bit out of touch.
Geelong aren't getting out of defence too easily.
Scott Stevens. Nothing much on offer. There's a lead from Ablett now. It's honoured. It's a good kick from Stevens and strong running from Luke Ablett. Slade on the mark. Call back a couple.
Probably too far out. Yeah, you're right, Drew. They are doing a bit of work. I see they are putting pressure on in their forward half, which is a good sign. And DeLuca's just come onto the ground.
Luke Ablett, son of Kevin. Kick like Kevin. Couple of leads off it. Bennett. No one on the line.
Gee, that is a big kick.
That's an Ablett kick, Phil.
Boy, that's a good... Well, you know, Ross, they've got to kick some of those, don't they? They've got to pull some big ones. And that's the point I was making about Alloy, Anthony Alloy, that he needs to bang those ones through because he isn't a massive possession winner. But very interesting to watch Bennett running down the ground every time. They've said to Bennett, right, you've got Mensch, but run him down the ground. And we're looking at Ablett now take the lead. But as I look out through the window too, I notice that Mensch is wandering back very slowly, whereas Bennett's well and truly back into position.
And Foster just on the ground for the Cats. Comes down to Philandia, the Port skipper and assistant coach. Loses control to Kelly. Kelly's kick to centre half forward. No, Mark Bartell. That's been absolutely fantastic. The hand pass back for Kelly. And he has to take a high mark to a hand pass. And Port have blocked it up. The umpire hasn't blown the whistle yet. And now he calls for the ball up. So Geelong leading by just 5 points.
Well, that interesting contest there, Drew, because Evans has got Chapman, and he's doing all right on Chapman at the present time. He's following all over the place. So there's some good contest going on here. Hunt on O'Loughlin in the back half.
Mensch, good use of the body to get rid of his opponent. Snap for goal, offline, so kept alive by the Cats. Here it is in the pocket. McMahon goes to ground. In the pack, he gets the free kick. Well, you can see it one way or the other. He might have been a bit lucky there.
Depending on who you had your money on, Drew, yeah, or whether you had a blue or white scarf.
No money involved, but Phil, you've tipped Port. You're one of the minority.
Well, I just thought just to be different, Ross.
Oh, no, nothing wrong with that. Shame to leave. No. Anyway, there's just a couple of you. Evans, a popular pick. Other Cats, but Port taking it up. Evans runs. The umpire's gone down to the back of screen through Peter Street. Evans spears the pass to Alloy. Woolno drags him to ground. Gotta be careful.
Oh, indeed, Ross. That's it. What Evans has got to do is do exactly what he just did then. He's got the big job on Chapman, but he's got to run out and drive that ball. What a beautiful lead. Now, Anthony Alloy. I bumped into, I think, one of his relations, and he said he's not Tony, he's Anthony. So I'm sticking with Anthony. And the look of his cousin, I thought, gee, I'm not going to cross you.
Well, Phil, your mother likes us to call you Philip, so but we'll go with Phil. We'll go with Phil. Anthony Alloy, can he get there third?
Hey, Roscoe.
He just pulled a fraction.
How's the distance of that kick, though?
Yeah.
He's a bloke with some skill, Alloy. Some good signs here. Johnny Clarkson. Interesting setup. What's happening, John?
Well, Phil, interesting setup with the Battle of the Rucks too. Big rotations between Street and Chambers off the interchange bench. And Danny O'Brien, the goal sneak, on for the first touch, as you can see now.
Yes.
And here is Danny O'Brien, who kicked 4 goals and a quarter earlier in this final series. Mensch gave away the free kick. And Bennett to take the free. Look at Finlandia.
He's a nuisance, isn't he?
Sure is. Bennett quickly with the free.
He'd be a dairy farmer.
He wouldn't be on your dinner party list if you're on a quiet night, Roscoe.
Luke Ablett, good mark. But he's 70 metres out from goal. He puts it to centre half forward. Alloy again. Under it this time. And the mark is taken. McCarthy back in defence. Up towards the middle of the ground. Socket forward for Port, but didn't clear the pack. Down goes David Johnson, and the umpire's going to ball it up.
Ryan McMahon now picking up Chapman. So there's a bit going on. They're moving blokes around all over the place. But that forward half of Geelong's is looking lean now. Only 2 talls down there. Gill had a tall, and now he's got a small.
Fantastic bounce by the
Brockman,
umpire.
in fact, that is.
Street wins it. Kelly. Throw, and it's against Port, and the free kick goes to Raleigh. James Raleigh, who was their best last week in the preliminary final, to full forward. McCarthy can't complete the mark. Porter putting on some pressure. Here's O'Brien just on the ground, but he misses to the right.
Well, that's interesting, Drew, because O'Brien, and I tell you what, David Dunbar needs to think about that. Johnny Clarkson, you'll back me up on this, because he's gone on O'Brien and he's gone straight on to, I think it was Brockman or Gill, one of the talls. In fact, it was Brockman, and they haven't made the move.
They're going to have to restructure it, Phil, pretty quickly, because it's actually caught him a fraction unawares.
Sure has.
Chris Obst. Over the top. O'Keefe let it slip through. Strong work, Chapman. But the Borough recover. Finlandia was quick. Into Evans, running for defence. Foster gives up the chase, and Evans kicks poorly. Turns it over to Josh Hunt, who switches play immediately. Oh, danger. Mensch, good. They've got the numbers through the midfield. Now the catch. Raleigh heads to Playfair. Knocked away from him. Running on with Johnson.
Good work.
Did the smothering. Great work, Ryan McMahon.
And got O'Loughlin.
McPherson to O'Loughlin. Bit of a fumble, kept it in play. Loves the open spaces. Slade just blocking him off.
Kick.
To O'Keefe. In midfield. Starts to run.
Well,
Kicks
chance.
long. Stevens. No, it was Ablett. Couldn't mark it. Mensch back in defence. Woolno. And the cat's steady.
Well, got a split out here on the wing too.
McGrath across to White. Mitchell White, a former All-Australian. A beautiful kick. And the mark is taken by Chapman. Chapman over centre wing in the direction of Bartel. Might have been held when he didn't have it. No whistle on the play. Bennett in there. Port get it going through the numbers. Ooh, Rose gets the hand pass to Bennett.
Gee, they're being solid, the boys from the Borough.
Oh, terrific game of football. O'Keefe kicks to half-forward flank,
Beautiful play.
where Woolno works to the front, knocks the ball down, comes to Evans, but he takes it over the boundary line. That was Foster.
Yeah, he did well, Foster, to get the paw on it. Yes, you're right, Drew. Look, it's got plenty of tension in it. There's manoeuvres going on. Ronnie Watt's working his forward half, switching talls with smalls, and the Borough have got to respond. Each time they're starting, I think they've got them right now down in the back half.
DeLuca in ruck now for the Borough. Interchanging with Ricks.
Good tackle.
Over the top of the ball. There he is with the red hair. That was a torrid first quarter for the Cats. Under the pressure from the Borough, but they lead by 5 points, 3-2 to 2-3 in a great opening quarter of the 2002 Grand Final. Phil Cleary.
Well, look, Roscoe, it's a great game, because you're looking at one side, Port, that's got a lot of standout-lone VFL players in it, against a fully professional team. So naturally you look at it and say, can that side sustain the pressure? Can they hold on? But I tell you what, Drew, you just made that point just before the sign. It's a good game, isn't it?
Oh.
It's got real tension about it. Lots of manoeuvres going on between the respective coaches, shifting because the Cats have got lots of talls there to float around and working Dunbar's back half. I'm really enjoying the contest. I would say that the Borough would reckon now they get to quarter time and they think they can really win the game. Before the game they'd say, yeah, we can win, but they would have been worried about the first 10-15 minutes. Now I reckon they're in it.
Well, what a first quarter it was. Tight, a 5-point lead to Geelong. It's 3-2 to 2 goals 3. Hope you're enjoying it around the country. Here's Beverly O'Connor.
Thanks, Drew. And a quick update for you on the Victorian Amateurs Footy Grand Final being played this afternoon at Alstonwick Park. And at the 25-minute mark, St Bernard's 4-5-29 to the Old Xaverians 2-1-13. Well, it's a great pleasure to have with me here the State Director of Umpiring, Kevin Mitchell. And Kevin, great afternoon, great footy.
Yes, it is great, Bev. Yeah, lovely day and good crowd, and the footy's been great.
Tell us about the state of umpiring. I know you probably don't, cop a lot of flack during the course of the year, but what state do you think it's in?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's just important that we continue to attract young people into umpiring. It's difficult with some of the adverse publicity that's been going around, but I mean, it is a great career for young people, and especially here in Victoria, there's a lot of opportunities for young umpires to hopefully reach their goal, and that's to get to AFL. So. Do
you like to recruit people that have obviously played the game themselves at quite a high level?
Well, it's interesting. We've got Mark Fraser with us, and Mark, being an ex-AFL player. Most young people that take up umpiring have played footy at some stage of the game and probably not big enough or strong enough, but still love the game and love to stay in it, and they're the people we certainly like to attract.
Well, we've had our Community Umpire of the Week announced each week on ABC television. How's that helped? Do you think that's encouraged people to come into it?
Yes, most definitely. I think TXU's initiative in that regard has been really, really great for umpiring, and certainly helps promote young people in the game, and they've certainly enjoyed it. Yes.
Getting a lot of women through?
Oh yeah, there's some females, yes, and they do well. We've got a female goal umpire at state league level, and that's encouraging. Yeah.
Oh, that's good to hear, Kevin. Thank you so much. Who you got your money on?
Oh, it was a bit difficult for me, Bev, but Geelong, I think, are a very strong, classy side, but Port really go hard at it.
They are playing tough footy.
Yes,
Kevin, good to see you. Thanks for coming in.
Pleasure. Thanks,
Kevin
Bev.
Mitchell, the State Director of Umpiring. Let's go back down into the Geelong huddle.
We have moved up. There is always space behind to be able to kick it to one-on-ones or to kick to blokes who are running back. I reckon there's times where we might have 60, 70, 80 metres between the contest and where all our numbers are. So sometimes we need some blokes to come up to a half kick away from the contest so they can't feed the ball out the back. They've been able to get a couple out the back and then transfer it across the ground. So Chappie or Jimmy or whoever might be part of the forward line, if you can see that there's a heap of space, come up, say you're 15 metres off the contest. Then you're going to be first back in front and square. Right, so we don't always need 6 blokes sitting deep. But the way you've been able to create space has been terrific. Henry, let's take them when they're there, mate, all right? Run through the thing and give us plenty of determination and plenty of context there when you're on, mate. I reckon there's been a few times where we've just been a little bit casual with the ball, so it's really important that we're firm, we're quick, we're direct as often as we can with the ball. We use it very positively. If you're not sure about getting it moving quickly, you're held up and you're on the back foot, just take your time. And if we miss the first option, let's find the second one, all right? If we have to go along to a contest, that's all right. But we can't get away from the fact.
At the moment, this is how we'll go. Evo, you go back to Johnson. Lou Brockman on Playfair, Rosie on Ablett. Obviously on O'Brien, where we can, obviously get you to lock onto him. Done some real good work down there for us, all right? Benno on Menz. Shooter, we had to put you back on Chapman for the moment and just have a look at the shuffle as it goes along. It's some really good work as well. Ricky up on the wing, okay, you've got the change going there. Ryan O'Keefe up into the centre for the moment, Sonny on the wing. Crossy will give you a bit of a spell forward for 5. You've been working pretty hard for us, and we'll get you back in there. Luke Ablett, Scotty Stevens across half forward, Eamon, Wheels, Schneids. Eamon and Plunge, you've got to keep your changes going, all right? You've got to keep your legs happening for us, all right? So Rixie in the ruck, Sam Anstey there on ball as well. Arch and Rixie will do some changes off the bench to keep you guys going. Yes, Pep? At the moment, you just go, all right? And we'll make a call, and maybe it might be Frosty goes in there for a bit. Just come in for a sec, boys. All right. Next 30 minutes going to be pretty keen for us. It's going to be on. Really contested hard. And that's how we have to be about it. At the moment, it's 2-3 to 3-2, 5 shots apiece. So it's going to be like that. The ebb and flow of the game, as we've spoken about. Early on, they had a fair whack of it and they were going forward, but we stood up under pressure, and that's what we need to do. We started putting it back on them, obviously, by the inside 50s. We were getting out, we had the control of the play, we were getting hold of the footy. It was just a matter of finishing off. So when we go forward, as I've said, we need to create that space, we need to get it in quickly, forwards be on the move. When it's in the air, when it's being contested, get the smalls underneath, okay? Bring it in, boys. Nice and tight. Come on. Next 10 minutes, zone in on that. Really hone in on being nice and tough and hard. Focus for the next 30 minutes after that to being in front at half-time. Win the
quarter. David Dunbar, really good, and he has motivated this team, and they've had a great year. Gee, they finished in 4th position, but they could come from 4th and win it the way they're going.
Yes, well, I reckon, you know, the key point I think that he made there, Drew, was they stood up to the pressure, and I think that would have been the question for them. We saw Ablett get a beautiful pass there from Mensch when they broke free, and it just showed you what they could do. He was so excited, the boy, as he banged that one through. And there were a couple of worrying signs later on, but before we get to the worrying signs, there's a gleeful moment for the Boroughs as Evans intercepts there, and this bloke, he's got a big job. He did have Chapman for part of the time. There's a lot of switching going on because the Cats will shift Tall's Playfair, for example, into their forward half. Now there's a case where Kelly comes from the back, and he really shouldn't have been able to fly. And it's a great mark, but you've got to stop it like taking a run like that. And up here, Rose misplaces his hand there, and you'll see spins out. Watch Chapman. No, watch Ablett. Watch the handball. He's a good kid. He thinks about the team, and it was a good goal.
Goal to Henry Playfair.
He'd just come on the ground.
He got a bit of a rev there from the coach. Ron Watt sort of raised his voice and, come on, Henry, you've got to take a mark when they're there.
That's right, Drew, because, you know, if they get it up there and they don't take any marks, yeah, interesting stuff. We've just been in the huddles, boys. What's the feeling like down there?
Yeah, well, Gary Ablett got a knock on his good calf, but I think he's OK. Ron Watt raised the voice, but he just said it's a game of football. They started pretty well, just tightened up a little bit. It's 4 quarters, and he's pretty happy. John.
Ross, things very positive in the Port Melbourne camp. Paul Roos, John Longmire and Steve Malaxos spent a lot of time in the huddle. The break-up, Dave Dunbar encouraged that, so they're very keen for a big quarter.
Ablett gets it out of the middle to McGrath, and he blazes away for goal, where the mark's taken by Evans in the last line of defence for Port. Pokes it up to O'Keefe. Could have been a dangerous kick. Now gets it out wide, and this is to Obst, who played in the premiership side last year for Box Hill. Chris Obst, his kick to centre wing. They can't get it past Mensch. Well played, O'Loughlin. Had a terrific start to the game. Ricks is in trouble, loses control in the tackle. Street,
good work.
Good for a big fella. And Kelly was grabbed pretty hard there by Rose, and the ball spills out of play. Some of the leading possession winners in the first quarter for the Cats: Bartel 8, 7 apiece to Mitchell White, Steve Johnson and Slade. And for Port Melbourne, 10 to Jared Bennett and 9 to Ricky O'Loughlin. Ricky O'Loughlin's gone the best I've seen him when we've seen Port Melbourne this year. Rose from halfback up towards Luke Ablett. Stevens. The hand pass is good to Ryan McMahon. Kick by McMahon. Alloy on the lead. And he's been a target, but he's been missing. He's kicked 2 behinds, and eventually Anthony Alloy will get on target. And if he does right here, Port will be in front.
Yes, well, he's got to go a bit of a journey. He's on a bit of a journey there to take these possessions, and it just stretches the percentages a little bit down, that is, in terms of probability. But this is a big goal. Big kick.
Kicks from about 49 metres. Oh, that looks good. Just gets away to the right-hand side. Slight cross breeze, and he has now kicked 3 behinds. But, gee, he's won the ball well.
Oh, he's been good on the lead. He's given him that target.
Cats by 4 points.
Good running player, Alloy.
Chapman kicks in. Woolno can't quite take the mark, so he has to go the paddle. And it works OK to the team's advantage. Up towards centre wing. O'Brien on the lead. Fumbles the mark. Comes to the back. And Port really sharing the ball beautifully. Luke Ablett, touch play on, no mark. Bartel gets himself out into space so often. Riley, good football. Riley was going to get a free, but the advantage goes to the Cats. Steve Johnson's hand pass. Terrific stuff. Chatfield. Hand pass up near the 50. Kelly concedes some ground. Back to David Johnson. Across the ground he goes. Port get back to Spoor, but it comes to Gary Ablett. He's in a bit of space. Blazes for goal away to the right and a behind.
Yes, just enough pressure exerted on Gary Ablett. They're pushing him a little wide, but for a moment there, he looked like danger goal.
Gee, they're working it well. Chris Obst again. Further short one to Brockman. Lee Brockman was once the Cats' first pick in the national draft in '96. Played 2 games for Geelong in '98 and now finds himself on the Swans list. Here's a free kick to Chatfield against Bennett. Adam Chatfield was on Carlton's list for 4 years, so he would know Optus Oval pretty well. Done a lot of training here, and he nearly tasted Optus Oval there. Mensch marks right in front, 40 metres out.
Well, Bennett was caught upfield there, And unless there's been a switch, Mensch has got away from him. You see Gary Ablett, senior, looking on, taking it in.
Very keen follower of his son. That's him every time he plays. David Mensch for goal. Kicks it well.
Well, it just shows you Bennett is playing a running game, but he got himself caught in the free kick up there on the wing, and no one covered for him with Mensch. Mensch slipped back, and of course the consequence was that he took the mark. Now, why is Bennett manning the mark? Why? And why is there no one able to get back and cover? You've got to do better than that. If your teammate's caught upfield, you've got to respond quickly. Got the same number of blokes on the ground.
So the Cats with the first one. No real advantage from the breeze. Across the ground, ideal conditions. Street leaves it. Chapman fists it, doesn't clear the area. McMahon was in the way. Danger, but still getting the kick away was Stevens. It's chopped off by Raleigh. Kicks wide to the leading Steve Johnson. Into space, back into the corridor. Stretching Gergich. Ooh, crowd wanted a free. Crowd wanted 50 against Sundquist, who came from behind to take the mark. But he's effectively held play up. Gergich has got McGrath loose. He wanted to run. Port close it down. They've flooded right back. Every player but two back in the defensive half. Now lead from Playfair. McGrath thought about it. Goes short again. Mitchell White. Slips. Is he off? Slews off the outside of the boot. In the street direction with O'Loughlin, who recovered. Will do the blocking. Stevens kept it in. Ablett. Good work by Hunt. And McGrath takes it over.
Interesting, Ross. Three of the interchange players for the Cats. Playfair, Foster, Chambers. Three of the tall timber, all off the ground at the present time.
Yeah, well, Chambers just the alternate ruckman. The talls is just pointing out.
Yeah, that's the main, the key point.
Well, it'll make them good in the last quarter when the Port might be a bit tired and Geelong can bring on some fresh legs. They might work straight into the ground until he can't go anymore.
Well, that's right. They've got all that cover. The Borough's got to somehow find, with that pressure off from the talls, they've got to somehow make a strike. I'd just like to see them have a tall inside 50. I'd just like to think, I think that DeLuca down there might just then test the Cats and have to use one of their talls. At the moment, they don't have to.
There's Street, number 36, wins it in ruck. Ball comes down to Slade. His kick to centre half forward. Mensch with Bennett. Good punch by Bennett, but only into the path of Chapman. He's in the centre square, but got a bit of room. Plenty of time to set up. The pass is wide for Kelly, and I'm not sure why he would go that far from goal. And certainly if he's going to miss the target. Boundary throw in. It's a good 30 metres around from the behind post. John Clarkson.
Counteract Geelong's bench. Port on the bench. Gill, Robinson, DeLuca, Phibbs. Probably not as many options there.
Johnson with a snap on goal. Into the pocket. Danger bounce. Attacking it. McCarthy gives away the free. Look, that was a lucky escape for Port.
But the Port have got two talls, Gill and Why not test Geelong? Challenge them inside your 50, because the game's just turning a little bit the way of the Cats.
Good pick-up, Obst, O'Loughlin. Oh, just let it slip from his grasp. Chapman sitting underneath it, Philandia. The Port captain receives a couple of...
Sun got in his eyes, Ross.
A couple of ironic cheers, a couple of boos, shall we say.
Oh, well, for people just joining the telecast, haven't been watching all year, it's worth reporting. He did do 10 weeks earlier in the year, Philandia.
For a bit of nibbling.
Yes. An off-the-ball incident. Here's Slade, half-back flank.
Nibbled on a teammate's toes, Ross.
Slade kicks to half-forward. Playfair won't get to the contest. Nor McCarthy. Mensch was good. Out to Gergich. On a lead. Johnson. With him Evans. Evans the spoil. Good. Johnson still in front. Absolutely through it. I agree with you, Phil.
You must be kidding.
O'Brien battling with McMahon and a throw in.
That is laughable. Except if you're coaching the opposition side.
Here we are, slow-mo, Phil. Oh, didn't you think you got a fist on that?
Ask me a hard question, Ross.
Trouble here for Evans. Ablett fights hard for it, spills out the back to O'Brien. Umpire will have to ball this up. So an 11-point lead to Geelong, 8.5 minutes into the second quarter. The Port fans have come out in all the colours here, mum and daughter by the looks. Well, they are a traditional rival, aren't they? Traditional team in the old VFA stroke VFL.
I thought they were sisters. You're all square up for you.
Right.
They are, Drew. Great old side, the Borough, no doubt about that.
15 premierships they've won.
Second oldest.
They were the VFA.
Second oldest VFA club. Only the second to Williamstown.
Mensch kept it in. No, he didn't. It'll be a ball up.
I had an email from a bloke, Gary Ireland, who played in Port's 1967 side. And it was really interesting, the feeling out there, you know, the people gravitating towards the club and sort of getting excited about the contest. So a lot of people really watching in and wondering.
Robertson and DeLuca sitting on the bench for the Borough. McMahon kicks close to the line. Mitchell White will take the free. Still not much space. Gergic makes the lead. White's going to go deep into the pocket. Knocked away from Gardner, who's come on. Rose, clearing kick. Not paid. O'Keefe looking for one. Bartel dished it up to O'Keefe. Spinning into trouble. Trying to get out was Riley.
That's gone.
The Borough push on. Up to half forward. Hunted the back with a spoil on Ablett. McGrath was at the full. Good work, good persistence. Buchanan's been quiet. Spears it up and finds Anthony Alloy. Can he get a goal? He dishes it out. Buchanan, who was behind him. Buchanan steadies. He's good on the left. He puts it to the square. O'Loughlin's there. And a free kick surely to O'Loughlin. Slade pulled him down. I don't know what you thought, Phil.
Well, it's a 50-50, Ross, but maybe not. Oh, don't know. I'd have to be a little bit in it, But they should have done better. Should have done better.
Yeah, it was a poor hand pass to Buchanan, which made him break stride to go back and get the ball.
Got to cover kick-ins better than that too, the big bloke. Have a look at the consequences of this.
White couldn't take clean possession.
Oh.
Spins through for Landia. Back he goes to Raleigh. Is he in a great stretch of form for Raleigh? Obst. And the umpire's going to ball it up.
No chance. That was another case where Philandia tried to lay the tackle, and I reckon he got a clip in the mouth from the player, and they're the ones I've been talking about a bit, that you got a player goes into tackle, bloke can't be sticking his arm in his face. But they're hanging on, but I reckon they've got to make some different kind of moves, the Borough.
Port have managed just 2 behinds in this quarter in 11.5 minutes, but they haven't let the opposition get away because Geelong have managed only 1 goal. Rose out of defence towards the boundary line. O'Loughlin played 10 games for the Adelaide Crows. Goes back to Rose, who kept coming. And he beats O'Brien, but just put him off the kick just enough. Goes to Slade. Spirals the ball to the 50. 2-1 in favour of Port. Bennett couldn't take the mark. Down goes Johnson. He might have given away the free kick, Bennett. The umpire says, give it to me, and I'll ball it up. Geelong by 10 points. 12 minutes gone. Second quarter. A low-scoring slog of a game, but terrific to watch. What a contest for the premiership.
Sure is.
Off comes Woolnough. And Foster goes on. And, John might just check to see how Mark Woolnough is, who appeared to hurt himself in the first quarter. Bounce favoured Street. Down to Gardner. Kelly fends off the tackle. Good hands. Will it sit for Gardner? One bounce. Riley couldn't gather. Little diggy one. O'Brien. He's dispossessed by Brent Evans. John Clarkson.
Yes, Gergic has actually gone on to Alloy. Alloy causing a fair bit of concern for the Geelong box. Coaster's clear with Will. No injury, so it's literally a change to try and stem the flow in that forward line.
Well, this is crucial for Port. Throw in forward pocket for the Cats. Mensch gets down to Steve Johnson. No distance on the kick. It's in the goal square. McPherson's been pretty quiet. That ball's got off him and through for a minor score.
Lachlan having a breather too. I just can't find targets up there in that forward half, I reckon. Well, Alloy's been one of them. But you look, Foster now picking up Snyder in the back half. Why can't you just find one tall to maybe give you a bit of to release one of the smalls?
Rose pops it over the top to Buchanan. Kick by Eamon Buchanan to centre wing. Bennett gets there late and takes the mark. Good mark, Jared Bennett. Won their best and fairest last year. Has played 13 senior games for the Swans this year. Good kick. Gets it up the ground to O'Keefe. He kicks deep inside the 50. Stevens!
They need this bloke to go for it. Got to be on fire, this bloke, if they're to win the game. He is the match winner.
He kicked 5 against them in the qualifying final. And he would need to repeat something like that again today for Port to stand up.
My word, he would.
Just 5 possessions. The youngster who's on the Sydney Swans list. Tough kick. 45 metres near the boundary line.
Oh, that's what they need.
Great kick.
Gee, they need a couple of those. That's a good one. You know, Drew, I've been saying, as the crowd looks on, they're big crowd on that side of the ground, but finding those targets, I just would love them to have one more tall inside that 50, set back towards the goals, let Alloy lead out and maybe get one tall so that you can kick long occasionally, just to create some pressure for the Cats. Give the Cats something to think about.
So would that be DeLuca? And
yeah, I'd go DeLuca. I'd give DeLuca a stint. I'd try him there in the goals.
And just he could then he'll have a spell in the ruck if needed
later on.
5 points the margin. The Borough hit back. There's Ricks. McPherson, good touch. Buchanan away from Slade and puts down. Advantage to O'Keefe. Shoots on goal.
Goal, Ross!
And they are in front, the Borough.
Gee, that's a big fight back.
Ryan O'Keefe took the advantage after Buchanan was put down after he'd kicked.
There's no doubt you've got to get Buchanan to fire up. Paul will tell us the stats. They certainly need these blokes. McPherson slips it over. That was Buchanan, wasn't it? Over to O'Keefe. 7 possessions to Buchanan, is it? And so he's got to start really cranking them up there. You see him here, good play after he got rid of it. O'Keefe goes on, and interestingly enough, Bartel stops. But you can't stop because there's an advantage possibility. That is a big goal. Port Melbourne in front by a point.
Back in the centre. Ferguson gets a little touch, important. The kick in the middle is smothered though.
Good hands.
Kick comes to O'Keefe again. Is left footer towards full forward. Too far for Stevens. Stevens has got it though. Taken out. White. They're able to clear. Foster. Well, Ablett takes the mark on the 50.
Gee, pressure's on the Cats.
Luke Ablett.
Pressure's on.
The ball no closer to goal, but out in front now for Buchanan.
Gee, they're given more than a yelp, the Boroughs. They are really taking it up to the Cats.
Just a teenager, Eamon Buchanan. And this will really test. A slight cross breeze, but not very strong. And Buchanan, in his second season on the Swans list.
Kick.
Beautiful. Now this it's in good hands now with Stevens.
Gee, they're testing them, the Borough.
And that's where they've been good. They've been patient.
Yes, they have.
And they've worked Geelong off the ball. And it's just the setup in the forward 50 has been fantastic.
And this bloke, he is a match winner. We've seen him win a match for them.
Scott Stevens right in front, 40 metres out.
Beautiful.
That's
beautiful. Oh, that'll give them... I tell you what, it's not just that they're equal. It's the fact that they have the confidence now. They would have gone into the game knowing they're up against a really fully fledged AFL side, against professional footballers, full-timers. And so there's a little bit of doubt about it. You've got to have a little bit of doubt there, I'm sure. But now they're looking at it saying, hey, we're as good as them. And we can win.
Yes, Phil. 21 senior listed players and 1 rookie for the Cats. 9 senior listed Swans and 2 rookies. So it's 11 to 22 if you look at it that way. And here comes Chapman through the middle. A great burst. Kicks on goal and puts the Cats back within a point.
Oh, gee, it's nothing like someone bursting through the middle of the ground. He got a beautiful block then. If you look, we'll see this again. The Cats players blocked so no one could get near Chapman. And he just did what he's good at, which is sunk a great long goal. Not a player near him. That centre bounce so critical. The Boroughs All those Port players just pushed out of the action. This is a great game.
Gee, well, the game's always been tight, but now it might be high scoring and tight. Been a burst of goals. McPherson can't get through the middle, loses control of it. Oh, what a tackle by O'Keefe.
Oh, rubbish umpire. Shocking decision. Well, he put his head into the player recklessly when the tackle was laid.
Oh. So Chapman
well, you have a
with
look
the
at it,
free.
Ross, again. We didn't see the whole thing. I'll explain to you what I mean.
Slade is there. It spills to David Johnson. He kicks to the goal square. Danger for Port. And it comes off Brockman and through for a behind. And that behind levels the scores at 5-5 apiece.
Obst puts it in, looking for Robertson's come on for O'Loughlin. McPherson's got some rare space in front of Gergich. Out to Rose, centre wing. Good spot for Ricks. He's got it. Should be 50.
Dead set 50 that time.
And here it comes.
Ross, on the tackles, without going in labouring that last one, I just think that players sometimes take the tackler on a little bit, and we've got to be just careful about them. It's not, the rule's going to change, I reckon, eventually. But when you take the tackler on a bit, I think you're putting yourself at risk. So that's a beautiful 50 there for the Cats. It's a big goal, this.
Scores level. So Michael Ricks took a year off last year. Wandered back to the club from the Oakley Chargers. Instrumental in the ruck in the first quarter last week. Getting the lead against Coburg. It turned out to be match winning by 3 points. Hasn't kicked a lot of goals.
Oh, gee,
stutters.
Stutter at that.
But he's put it through much for his relief, Bill. And they're back in front by 6 points, the Burrows.
Well, that was a clear 50. That's what the 50-metre rule's all about, not holding the player up. And on that occasion, he was well and truly held up. You'll see it here. Clear. Rose sinks it up nicely. Gee, they made some space. Now watch this. Yes, that's coming far too late.
John Clarkson on the boundary.
Very quickly, boys. Dave Dunbar's kept his nerve. Adrian DeLuca straight to full forward. So they've gone with a tall setup. Phil would be very happy with that.
It's one in the middle. McPherson runs onto it.
Held.
It's up towards the 50. Oh, Geelong. Clever hands. Comes out to Slade. Mensch in front of Bennett. Good hands by the veteran. Back he comes. And
McPherson's gone. Done a hammy.
Kick inside the 50. Oh, what a mark by O'Brien.
Yeah, he's coming off, Phil.
Yeah, quite clearly did the hamstring, Roscoe. Saw it. He knew straight away. It's the end of him. That's going to upset the apple cart too in terms of the changes.
Well, that's shocking news for Port. He played in the 96 Grand Final for the Swans alongside Tony Lockett, Paul Kelly. And if you've done a hamstring, that is...
You're gone.
Game over.
Yep, he's gone.
Bang, he says. Like
yep.
that.
No hope. O'Loughlin back on there, we see.
Okay, so you're right on it.
He's had plenty of the ball today, Ricky O'Loughlin.
Yeah, you're right. We're right. Yep.
Yeah, mentioned by Ron Watt at quarter time, too much space.
So Danny O'Brien with the shot for goal. Played nothing but VFL games in the last 2 seasons, even though he's on the Cats AFL list. O'Brien from 48. Plenty of distance on it, but he hooked it slightly to get the distance and gets it behind.
Yes, well, David Dunbar's got his forward half loaded up now. He's got DeLuca, Stevens, and he's got Gill, who's got a little bit of height about him, and Alloy up the forward half. So I was thinking it would be worth trying, and he's giving it a try now. But they're doing well. The Borough.
Obst finds McMahon. Oh, it's going to drop forward. Short Chatfield in front of O'Keefe. Can he get in quickly? Port defenders trying to close it down. Chatfield hunts for the long one. Looking for McCarthy. 2 of them went at it. Evans now trying to run it out. Brockman. Along the line from Evans. And Chambers couldn't get it off his knee, but umpire says throw it in the second string ruckman to Peter Street. He's taught himself 197, only a youngster, 20. Peter Philandia having a spell, the Port captain. Next to him, Woolno ready to come on.
Boundary throw in and Mensch wins it. Riley's hand pass goes to Chapman. Deep inside the 50. Ooh, it gets through them. Bennett goes for the boundary line. He spirals it towards the line with a punch. A beauty, Jared Bennett.
Yeah, that kick of Chapman gained a bit of distance, didn't it? Another tall off. Johnny, I see they're whipping that one tall off. But no, they got Ricks down the forward half now.
Yeah, they're swapping and changing. They took Philandia off the ground about 3 minutes ago, but due to the McPherson injury, had to bring him back on. So it's probably had to adjust their structure just slightly.
Bennett to Luke Ablett. And the ball out of bounds up near the wing. So, former coach, Phil, yourself, what about the coaching moves today? Who's in front? David Dunbar or Ron White?
I think he's just squeezing himself. He's getting a little head in front now. I think he's manipulated. He's kept him in the game. And what he reckons now is he might just challenge in this last few minutes.
24 on the clock, as you can see. Gergich to 50. O'Brien in front, worked underneath it. No, he wasn't. He got hands on it. Good work from Evans. Now it's Obst. And Hunt appealing for the free.
You wouldn't fight Hunt for the last spud on the table, would you, Roscoe? He'd a bit of weight behind him, wouldn't he?
Well, the look of him, he got the last 6, Phil.
And the leg of lamb as well.
He's the strong...
And the peas.
He's a strong boy. Chambers and DeLuca go at it. Grabbed by Bennett, playing a great game. Kicks to the boundary line with a spiral, but he's miscalculated badly. That's out near Robert Gordon and Steve Branks, Phil.
He was trying to save time, Ross. He should have kicked it over the grandstand. Just a crucial moment. Few minutes remaining in the quarter. Port 5 points up.
So it's up to expectations. Chapman to 50. McCarthy hasn't got into the game. Philandia with quick hands to Rose. Good gather. Pressured by Ablett. Up towards Ricks at half forward. He's dragged off the ball by Woolno. And a throw in.
Chapman just moving him, working his way into the game a little bit too.
So danger this last 5 minutes for either side. Wouldn't want to let a goal come in late.
Port have kicked 4-2 this quarter to 2 goals 4. And good exchange here. Ablett out to Philandia, who gains some territory down the line. Schneider keeps the hand pass in, but chopped off by Riley. Here's kick. Steve Johnson slides and takes the mark. He doesn't take the mark. Chance here for Evans, but he's wrapped up by Gergich.
Philandia's in a lot of trouble there.
Well, if Philandia's gone and McPherson's already...
they've got it, Ellen.
This doesn't look good.
Oh, dear me. In the ribs, was it?
This was just a challenge from Chapman near the boundary.
He's a big boy.
Ball helped on. Now chopped off by Chapman. Finishes up with Slade. Kick by Slade to centre half forward. Bennett from behind. O'Brien front and square. Open goal square. And O'Brien nails it.
Oh, he's dangerous, this boy. He just gives them a little bit of dash inside a forward half that often has a few giants running around it. He just slips through, cuts a path, and when he's hot, he is a very good player. Talked a lot about him over the last few weeks, and Drew, you talked a lot about whether he's going to make it. He's been out injured, as we know, and he is an exciting player.
So the Cats...
Crucial goal, Ross.
Back in front by a point.
Johnny Clarkson will tell us the story on Philandia
to
shortly.
half-time. We might have got it in the you-know-wheres. Here comes Buchanan. At 50. Run too fast. Doesn't matter. He's put the ball back in front. Deep in his own on. Buchanan.
What a goal. This bloke is an excitement machine, Buchanan. He just really does some big things. What a goal that was. How far did he run, Ross? You saw it. About 30 metres, I reckon, but who cares? It was too good to hold up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, he's only run about 12. What a kick.
Slow counter, Phil.
He was thinking about handballing it.
No,
I used to be able to count when I was at school.
When you're in politics, I think, Phil, you've lost the ability. Johnny.
Ross just confirming Peter Philandia, serious rib injury at this stage. Craig Christie, the physio, is working on it, and also the trouble with McPherson with the hamstring. So they've got their problems down here, Port, but they're not giving it away.
Robertson's kick inside the 50, where the mark is taken by Chapman. He comes out wide, taken by Riley. The goal by Buchanan, a quick answer out of the middle, very similar to Chapman's, who kicked one within about 15 seconds of a bounce. Hand pass by McMahon, sits up beautifully. Evans gets it to Robertson. His kick to Stevens, good hands. Wide open, he puts it out in front of O'Loughlin, says, get onto that. Ricky
Comes back on your right. And he does, and he
to centre half forward, it's all Geelong. And Chambers takes the mark. Late in the second quarter, Port by 5 points. They trail by 5 at quarter time. Here's Chapman, beautiful kick. It gets to the back, gives Steve Johnson a hope. But he's running out of room and out of bounds.
Good work by Obst there. He just leaned on his opponent, got him up into the contest, got him under the ball, and playing a very good percentage game there. Good crowd in, as you can see. Lots of Cat supporters. They've been with us throughout the finals from Sleepy Hollow. They've been good stuff.
Well, the seniors didn't make the final, so their seasons lasted a month longer with the VFL side.
Street found O'Brien. Bit of danger. Raleigh inside 50. O'Brien got it back but had a fumble. McMahon did well. O'Keefe trying to block the man. Foster used his strength. Back to Raleigh.
Trouble.
Nowhere to go. They can't get any leg movement. Gergich the snap. Into the square and a mark. Johnson, Steve.
On Bennett claiming a free kick. I'll tell you what, he could mount a bit of a case against Mensch just off the ball. Have a look, just see here as the ball goes down. We may catch it. You just might see. No, we don't catch it.
So a straight kick from Steve Johnson. We'll put them back in front. How many lead changes, Paul? 3. A whistle. Is that a goal? I think it's straight through. It is. So 4 lead changes. It's been a great first half in the grand final. Steve Johnson.
The umpire was going to pay a 50-metre, Roscoe. That was the reason for the question. I think he believed the play was over the mark. What a game. Pretty hard to pick, but the Borough in a bit of strife with 2 of their running players, Philandia and McPherson, off the ground, which is going to force the coach, David Dunbar, to go with Talls. And that is going to be difficult as the game gets tougher and they tire a bit, as they naturally will. Maybe, they're hard to deal with, those rib injuries.
DeLuca in the ruck, but Geelong have the football. Chapman takes an awkward bounce. Bennett punches to the... A free kick against Bartell for a coat hanger.
Will be cited in the NRL.
Ryan McMahon, son of David McMahon, former Fitzroy champion. Siren, half-time at Optus Oval in the grand final. And what a game of football, with Geelong leading by a point after they'd led by 5 points at quarter time. It is Geelong 7-6 to 7-5. And Phil, you've been playing and watching VFL for 72 years. What a final series we've had.
Look, it's just been brilliant, you know. They've got a great crowd out here today. Look, it's just full of suspense. They've really opened up a bit in the second quarter. The great thing is that the Borough are in the game. I don't say that because I'm leaning towards an old VFA club, but people came and thought maybe the Cats had wiped them off the map, you know, really do them in. But they've fought hard, and you've got to take your hat off to them. Of course, the Cats are good. We're in for a great second half, but of course, can they sustain it with the injuries that they've now got to Philandia and McPherson? Will that tilt the game in favour of the Cats? You reckon it would help them? Certainly. Oh, it's been a great game. It has been a great game. 1 point in it. We got the beauty. We got the close one here at Optus Oval.
Well, Geelong kicked 4 goals in that quarter, and they hung on by a point after leading by 5 at quarter time. And the leading goal scorer as well. No leaders for Geelong. They've kicked 7 goals with 7 different individuals. And for Port Melbourne, Scott Stevens is the leading goal kicker. He has kicked 2, and the rest are individuals. A fantastic opening half. Fantastic day in Melbourne. The best VFL crowd we've had by a mile all season. A terrific finale to the season, and it's 1 point the difference at half-time in the grand final. Bev.
Thanks so much, Drew, and it's a great pleasure to have with us the CEO of the AFL, Wayne Jackson. And Wayne, an afternoon like this, a game like this, the state of footy's pretty good.
Well, it's a terrific game. B, it's a great day at Optus, and to see so many people here is very rewarding, I think, for all at the VFL. But it's symptomatic that, I mean, a lot of people have been going back to community footy, which is really healthy and reflects well on the work that the VFLs do.
It was funny last week when there were so many complaints about the night finals, yet for us it was just terrific because we saw such a great return to grassroots footy.
Yes, Ken Gannon made that point in the speech he made earlier today, that playing the games at night, at the AFL games at night, does help the local competition and suburban and regional footy, and we knew that as we did it last week, but we'll get hammered whenever we play them then.
But I think it's better, as it gives the opportunity. As we know, the VFL has become much more of a feeder comp now to the AFL, and it needs to be supported. People need to see these young people coming through.
Well, I think what's happened, and there's been a lot of evidence of people going back to the VFL matches and to suburban and country footy for all sorts of reasons, but one of them is that with so much footy on television these days, you can get your AFL fix through Friday night or Saturday afternoon or Saturday night or Sunday afternoon, and so you can do that and then still take the kids and wander down to the VFL if you want to do that on the Saturday afternoon as well. So it's working pretty well.
What do you feel about the level of the competition? Do you sort of feel it seems to be getting stronger and stronger each year?
Yeah, no question. Look, 5 or 6 years ago when I came here, it was, I think I was surprised at how low it was, but in the last few years it's increased significantly, and I think the advent of the AFL clubs taking an interest in some of the VFL clubs has helped elevate the school standard. And I mean, this year the VFL beat the South Australian National Football League by about 10 goals at Adelaide Oval, and that's
the first time in 50 years.
First time, and I think it's symptomatic of the improved standard. So I think everybody should feel very pleased.
Do you think the affiliated club is going to be the model for the future, given that we've got Geelong here in this grand final, but we've seen Essendon struggle, Carlton struggle a little. They're looking for affiliations themselves.
Look, I think that the affiliation is the way to go. I've thought that for some years, and it's seeming to prove the case. But there'll always be exceptions that break the rule, Beverly. But so far it's working out pretty well, and I think it's at early stages, and I think it will continue to evolve.
Great grand final for us next week with Melbourne in the grand final, and I guess for you it must be terrific to see a Melbourne side there taking on the Brisbane Lions.
Yes, I just thought yesterday was it was a wonderful endorsement of Collingwood and the Collingwood Army. I thought that was wonderful. I think it was a great endorsement too of the 10 or 15,000, 20,000 maybe that either trained or busted or drove or flew from Adelaide too. So. I think we'll get a similar result next week. The Collingwood people will be pleasingly fanatical, and a few traumas to get through during the week, haven't we, as well? And then and Brisbane, as always, will get their support from the old Fitzroy Footy Club and from the people that come from Queensland.
A great result, although some of us might have to leave town with Collingwood in the grand final.
Yes, well, we'll see.
Thanks so much for joining us.
It's
Good
a pleasure.
to see Wayne Jackson, the CEO of the AFL. Well, Monday saw the annual presentation of the J.J. Liston Trophy, the 2002 Best and Fairest in the VFL. And what a scoop it was for Sam Mitchell. Here's the situation after round 15. And after polling yet another 3 votes in that round, Sam Mitchell moved to 25. Dean Talbot, there we see, on 15. Chad Liddell tied with the ineligible Ben Beams on 12. Here's the CEO of the VFL, Ken Gannon.
Round 16. Box Hill Hawks versus Northern Bullants. 1 vote, Box Hill Hawks, R. Cassidy. 2 votes, Box Hill Hawks, M. Ball. 3 votes, Box Hill Hawks, S. Mitchell. Round 17. Bendigo versus Box Hill Hawks. 1 vote, Box Hill Hawks, T. Clark. 2 votes, Bendigo, M. Bradley. 3 votes, Box Hill Hawks, S. Mitchell. We declare the winner of the 2002 J.J. Liston Trophy, Sam Mitchell of the Box Hill Hawks Football Club.
I was very surprised. I'd played most of my footy in the VFL in that early part of the season, so I was very surprised to be up there and just hold on for long enough. And it was very surprising to get that many votes, so I'd like to thank the umpires, I guess.
So you've had a bit of Schwabby and you've had a bit of Donald. We saw that they had a blue during the year in the coach's box. Who's the better coach?
Obviously, I'd like to thank my family, first and foremost, just for the support they give me through the year, and obviously it's an up and down ride going in and out of the seniors and and playing footy in the VFL. And obviously I'd like to thank everyone from the VFL, you know, for putting on such a fantastic competition. You know, everyone all today's been to talk about how good and how strong the competition is. So I'd like to thank all of those people that are involved there. And from the Box Hill side of things, obviously Donald, I would never have got drafted if it wasn't for Donald's influence on me, and you know, all the people that are here today from the club. You know, I look down there, and David Parkin, and also congratulations to Michael Frito winning the Fothergill round medal, and good luck for the draft, mate. And yeah, just everyone from Box Hill, all the coaches and all the players down there were obviously fantastic for me, both this year and last year, and of course everyone from Hawthorn's been great for my development this year, and hopefully I can just keep moving on and take another step next year.
Well done, congratulations.
He's a terrific young fellow there with a great future in football. There were 3 other awards given on the day. And we see for the 4th season running, Nick Sautner took out the Frosty Miller Medal awarded to the league's leading goal kicker. Sandringham's Tim Scott Brannigan won the Norm Goss Medal awarded to the reserve's best and fairest, and the Fothergill Round Medal awarded to the VFL's most promising young player, which was deservedly won by Michael Farito. Let's go straight to Phil Cleary, who's on the ground.
Thank you, Beverly. I've got Renee Klimczak from TXU, and the mark of the year. What a mark that was, Renee.
It was fantastic, and not only do we think so, but over 50% of the people who voted for this mark, so I think that says it all.
Now, what's an American doing here supporting football, and have you enjoyed it?
Oh, I've been here for a very long time, and Aussie Rules is part of Victoria, and we love it, absolutely love it.
So you had a big year. And can we present that trophy over to Martin McGrath, who, of course, took the big mark down in Tassie. What a mark that was, Marty.
Yeah, it was all right. I suppose it was good.
Did you get excited? Have you got a video clip of it?
Oh, yeah, I do at aim. When I landed, I got a black eye out of it, so it was worth it.
Good man. So we're going to present this. Just look at the screen there, and we're seeing the mark now, right there. All the viewers at home are having a look at that mark down in Tassie. It was a pearler. I could say I used to get up that high when I was young, but I didn't really, Marty. So well done to you.
Yeah, thank you.
Good stuff. And Renee?
I just wanted to say congratulations to Martin. This is fantastic, and we really do appreciate all that you've done, and the mark was sensational. Well done, and good luck next year.
Good on you. Now, Rob, quick, I've got the Attorney General here too. Renee is going to, and you know what, Marty? You know who he barracks for? You know, he barracks for Geelong. Now, tell me, how are we going to go?
Well, look, it's a bit close for me, I have to say, at half time, but it's a battle of the backlines. I think Geelong will get up, and I think this is really the start of their 2003 season, Phil.
Oh, yes, good on you. And it's good VFL footy, isn't it, to get such a crowd and great parochialism here today.
Look, it's a great day, great crowd and great football. As I said, for a Geelong supporter, too close at half-time, but I think we'll pull away with it after half-time.
OK, good on you. And I suppose with you and the Premier supporting Geelong, I suppose the state will close down for a week if you lose, eh?
If we don't win, we'll retrospectively pass legislation.
Good on you. Back to you, Drew. And Marty McGrath, what a mark that was. The TXU mark of the year. Fantastic.
Yep, that was the best of them, but there were probably about 15 other candidates. He took a heap of great marks this year. A fantastic prospect, and he is the cousin of Corey McGrath, who's on Essendon's list. So, still the Little League going on here at half-time, and I think Beverly has more for us. Bev?
We do indeed, Drew, thanks. And we have with us the Victoria Police Commissioner, Christine Nixon. And Christine, thank you so much for joining us. Are you having a good time?
I am. It's been a great game so far. Yeah.
You've always been a really important part of the VFL with the community activities through Vic Safe, and we've talked a lot about some of the activities. It's so important for the community to be involved, isn't it?
It is, and I think for the police and for the VFL to be part of this, working with each other closely and the role we've played, it's been terrific, and great thank you for the ABC too for having us involved.
Now, you've had a discussion paper out and about, and you've got lots of ideas. What sort of things are coming through about what's important?
I think people are saying to us they think safety in their own communities, safety in their own homes, they're important parts, and we'll have to pay a lot more attention to that, I think. And I think people working together in partnership is a really important part of the way we'll go forward in Victoria Police, and hopefully the community will be happy to work with us.
Now, you've celebrated 500 days in office, and now a couple of more, I know. So how are things going? Are you enjoying the role? You seem to really relish it, and people seem to be working very well with you.
Yeah, I think so. I think Victoria Police have come a long distance in the last while, and we've got a lot more police on board. We're working, I think, a lot more focused on many things like stolen motor vehicles. vehicles and burglaries, and it's been a great time for me. I mean, football's been interesting to understand, and lots of teams are wanting me to become part of them.
Have you made a decision yet? I was thinking with the Pies in the grand final now, you must be very tempted, but I hope you hold out.
I will. I'll hold out.
What about in the VFL? Has anyone tempted you?
Oh, Williamstown's been. We've been to a couple of those games, and I think
the Premier's got you on his bandwagon, has he?
I think it's actually the Williamstown people who encouraged us.
Oh, that's good.
But it's really great to see communities like that, and it's a great sport for families to come along to, and I think more and more people should come along to see what kind of fun it can be.
It is indeed. And I guess when you see crowds like this and you understand the importance of what they are to the community, and for the police to be involved, really that's where you can build relationships, can't you?
Oh, I think it is, and whether it's about road safety issues or it's about local safety, problems that we can identify with local government as well. This is a really important part. Victoria has 20% lower crime rate than any other state, and I've got to say I think football's got a lot to do with it. People coming together around football, good sport, safe, and they have a few problems occasionally, but pretty much it's great communities working together.
And Willie won the reserve, so you can't be too unhappy.
Yeah, I was shocked.
I think they were too.
Yeah.
And who you're barracking for here, it's going to be pretty close.
Yeah, well, I think Geelong probably. But as she said, it seems to be seesawing, and it's just a good game to watch, and seems like everybody's playing the best they can.
Terrific. Thank you so much for joining us, Christine.
Thanks very much,
Christine Nixon, the Victorian Police Commissioner. And I should remind you too that if you're enjoying this game and it remains as tight as it is at the moment, you'll no doubt want a copy of the grand final, and you can get that through ABC television sales. There are the contact points if you'd like to know how to go about it. But it's a thriller so far, and no doubt you would like a copy if one of your teams are playing in the grand final. Let's go back now to Drew and Phil.
Yeah, thanks, Beverly. Just really wrapped in the game. What a finale to a season, which has been a great season. And this final series has been a classic.
Well, we've had some great ones here, and we go back to 1990 with Billy Swan's goal after the siren when they knocked over Springvale. We're going to have one like that today. We saw the Williamstown Reserves do that. It's been great, though, because, Drew, you come into the game worried that the Geelong side are going to be too good, but they haven't been. And look, we all love an underdog, don't we? That's part of the footy culture. We love to see the underdog. Look, I'm not going to put the Cats supporters down. They want to see the side win, as does the Attorney General and the Premier.
Yeah, they've got some power on their side, haven't they?
They have.
So if they lose, what's it going to change legislation?
Respective legislation. So as we see, I think we're seeing some highlights as well. But there's plenty. And I mean, you've called stacks of football. I mean, I can sense you're really loving the call.
Oh, absolutely. When you think that, well, Coburg lost a couple of games in the finals by a kick, and this is a kick the difference at half-time. I still personally think that Geelong might come over the top of them, because those two injuries to Port in the second quarter could be crucial. You don't want to lose your captain, Philandia, and McPherson, who's got the most AFL experience.
And because I've been saying that they could rejig that forward line, but that's like strike. We've got some highlights rolling, I think. Yes, we'll see them here. But it becomes harder, Drew, if you've got to leave the talls out there for that period of time and not have the mobility of those two smalls. Philandia, who's a hard nut,
You're going to let me trot out one of the best cliches?
Yeah, go on.
That the talls don't get any shorter and this little blokes get slower.
That's right. We'll probably see it here as we see a tall there, Jared, one of the tallish sort of players, Jared Bennett. But what about Stevens too? We've seen him come alive, haven't we? Kicked two great goals in the second quarter. And this bloke O'Keefe, gee, there's a lot to like about the game. There really is.
O'Keefe are on the Swans list, so they are the full-timers.
Yeah.
They do have the strong legs. They do have the physios and the weight room and all that sort of stuff. So they're entitled to shine in amongst this Port side. But it's some of the blokes who are VFL-type players who don't get away.
Brett Rose, Brent Evans, who has done stuff. Anthony Alloy. Anthony Alloy.
Just call him Wheels.
I'm trying to spit out. He's been good. Michael Ricks, the big tall ruckman. Adrian DeLuca's had been on the ground too. These are blokes that are really, in the end, are going to have to stand up along with the Swans players. But gee, they've been at it. They've been tough at it. They haven't let Geelong dictate to them. And gee, if they...
Look at how they have used that ball around the 50-metre line and inside.
Didn't they wait there? They just said, right, no panic attacks here. And 140 to Port,
That's a pretty interesting one. They've had as much of the ball as Geelong, so that is a pretty good sign. Inside 50, they've matched them everywhere. Centre breaks.
Even hit-outs are only 18-14.
It's a good sign for them. I reckon they'd be buoyant at half-time. The fact is they know they've been able to match it and they can win, and the psychological aspect of it is really big.
Well, that certainly does give Port a chance. And when you go back to that qualifying final, 2 or 3 weeks ago when they won by 7 points, they know they can do it, so why not do it again?
Well,
when
that's
it really
right. You do have that bit of confidence. If they'd come out today, Geelong with more players in and Geelong gets 4 or 5 goals, they say, oh, well, yeah, we beat them last time, but they've got a better side. But now they've beaten them and they've got a good side in Geelong and they're still right with them. So the confidence is there. Dunbar's pretty cool, you know, as a coach. I reckon he's done well. And Geelong carries more pressure. They are expected as an AFL side to do well.
And if they get 2 or 3 goals down late in the game, all the pressure's going to be on the Cats because, as you say, they're expected to win. And that might really bring them undone. Well, let's find out. We've got a fantastic second half coming up, and here's Ross with John down on the boundary line.
Yes, before that, Drew, we're both here, of course, but the winner of the smoke-free super kick, Blair Tournier. Congratulations. How far did you kick it?
55.3, mate.
Not bad. So not too much breeze?
No, it's good.
Pretty warm. Well, there's the trophy. Congratulations.
Thanks,
well done.
Thanks,
who you
mate.
play for?
Geelong Falcons and Mottawari Footy Club.
OK, we know who you're bagging for. Johnny, how are those injuries?
Look, not too positive, unfortunately. McPherson and Philandia not expected to return to the game. A real Port Melbourne field down in the box down there. Freddie Cook in there, revving the boys up. Boys are still very confident. Young leagues, they believe they can run over the top in the second half, even with their reduced capacity in the midfield.
And Geelong, no worries. Just do the things that have got them on top of the ladder all during the year. No injuries. As we go back up the race, they say, let's bring back the cup.
And Ricks wins the ball in the middle, gets it down to O'Keefe, and Port first into attack, but chopped off. And it was Hunt getting it out of defence, but they haven't gone very far getting it out of defence. And Port are very good at blocking them up, so they force this ball up just near the centre circle. Geelong leading by a point coming into the second half. What a turn-up it would be if Port could beat them. Geelong, the minor premiers, they had a percentage during the year. They lost only 3 times and a percentage of 157. So they didn't have too many games decided by a point. O'Keefe round the corner. Ablett, Luke Ablett, couldn't take the mark, but it comes down to Robertson. His hand pass back to Buchanan, who's jolted out of his arms. He's in after it again. Gets his body in between opponent and ball. Buchanan goes again. Good stuff, son. And a ball up. Well, Buchanan, just a teenager, 19 years of age. Second season with the Swans. Had 6 games at AFL level this year. And I saw him star in a TAC Cup Grand Final at the MCG a few years ago, playing for the Geelong Falcons. A lot of his former teammates have gone on to play in the opposition today, and here he is playing for Port against Geelong. Another ball up, and that suits Port. The more this goes on, the more frustrated the Cats will become. Just a lull in proceedings as the umpire to restart. We haven't really gone very far since the bounce started the quarter. Ricks with a backhander. Bartel. This ball's still not coming free. Street in there. Bluey McGrath, the veteran, at last gets a kick free of the pack. Comes to Ricky O'Loughlin. Good shepherding off the ball. Allows O'Loughlin a bit of space.
Good work.
Can't find a teammate. The boundary line will do. Attacking 50.
Well, that saved them, and you're right, Drew. It was good pressure work and great work in the contest, I think, from Jared Bennett. He has been fantastic for the Boroughs at centre-half back on Minch. We've got Nick Gill up in the forward half. In that forward half for the Boroughs.
From the boundary throw-in. Overrun by Buchanan. McGrath gets the hand pass to Kelly. Been very quiet, James Kelly, in the first half. This is good, though. The pass, perfect. And the mark has been taken here by Playfair. Henry Playfair from Holbrook in southern New South Wales. Playfair centres the ball. Chopped off, but still there for the Cats. Chapman round the corner. Couldn't bring it round far enough. And his kick has gone out of bounds on the full.
Back around the post. Back around the post, Gary.
James Riley, who was a star last week, again doing the business for the Cats today. 14 possessions in the first half. Slade 13. Chapman 12. We've got Steve Johnson with 12. White 12.
Got it there. That's your mark. Don't closer, don't closer.
13 possessions for Bennett for Port in the opening half.
Make it 14.
Yeah, here he comes again, Jared Bennett. Top player at this level. His kick towards half forward. Robertson, good mark.
Tell you what, if they get up, no player more than Bennett will have been responsible.
Kick by Buchanan. Ablett nudged out from underneath it. Stevens. Hand pass in, high tackle. Comes to O'Loughlin. Gets the hand pass on, and the shot by Schneider.
Super football, Burrows. That is brilliant. That is brilliant.
Important first goal of this second half, Adam Schneider.
Well, and you hear the umpire there, boys. He broke the tackle, and he did. And look at Stevens. He puts it out there to Schneider. Was that Buchanan? Who kicked the goal there? Schneider kicked the goal. It was Buchanan. He handballed it first and got it back. Amazing. Broke the tackle, then got it back.
Just 2 games for the Borough side this year. Played the last game. Missed a lot through glandular fever. And the last 2 games in the reserves. But now with Philandia off, Phil and Drew, it's an important inclusion. And McPherson. Rex back and ruck. Street won it. Riley grabbed high by Anstey. Riley. Waste no time. Loose man Bartel. Will it sit for him? 40 metres out from goal. Won't quite get the distance. Free kick, no. And rushed through for a behind.
I'm not sure why he didn't go for goal then.
I got a feeling he was trying to kick it too. But that was good work by Brockman down there, who's got the big job on Playfair.
Person sitting on the bench, and Sunquest, who's an inclusion, gets these few touches, just 4 in the first half.
Stay there.
Sunquest up towards centre wing. Bennett. Did he get first touch? No. Mark not paid. Still in after it, Jared Bennett. Oh, gee, solid body work. Bennett applying the tackle on Kelly. A perfect tackle.
Gee, how long can he keep doing that, Bennett? He has had to work so hard. There'll be a lot of Port Melbourne supporters getting pretty excited at the moment. 20 years since they've won a flag and they're still in the game.
About 12 Geelong players with under 5 or under possessions.
Well, we saw Trent Bartlett last week just run himself into the ground, and Bennett might have to do the same today against taller players.
Inside 50. Gathering by Foster.
Tackle.
But O'Loughlin received after the good tackle. Here's Buchanan chasing it half back. Gets his arms up. In there, McGrath, the captain, won the ball. Good contest.
Beautiful use of the body, Ross.
Dished out by Riley, back to the captain. Or the hand pass into trouble. Could be a turnover. No. Back to McGrath again. He kicks wide and the Cats under pressure. Foster.
Gee, some tired-looking players. The ball's been played out a lot wide, hasn't it? A lot of running in the game, Ross.
Yeah, not much breeze. It's not hot. Only about 17, 18 degrees. Foster, only 2 possessions first half. Finds Steve Johnson.
Oh, again, the problem there for Brent Evans is once he was out of position, Johnson was always going to pluck the mark, and that's a little bit of a worry in that back half for the Port Melbourne side.
Geelong trail by 4 points. Steve Johnson, his kick 1.
What's your holding?
Is there a grab? Locks up at the full Slade, the defender. Bartel sitting underneath it. Got the mark. Did it travel 15? I think so. Will he run around?
Nice old rabbit killer for his trouble.
McMahon putting pressure on him. Ryan McMahon.
No closer, wait for the call.
And that no closer player is Sam Anstey. You can see him, number 11, just on the left of screen. Bartel gives himself some space. Someone likes it, but not enough. It's hit the post, in fact. Scraped the post, Bartel.
Ross, no word on Philandia when you were downstairs. Did you mention that? I didn't.
Yeah, John did. But I can't remember what he said. I think we'd find it's ribs.
Alan up there whenever you want.
Johnny, what was the story on Philandia?
Phil, it is ribs and will be out for the rest of the game. It's interesting, Ron Watts changed his structure. He has Chambers and Street off the ground. O'Brien back on for a run, so not having it all their own way, the Geelong boys at this stage.
No, they're not, and the talls are not quite working out for them, which is very interesting.
Obst straight up the ground. Ricks. Bartel good enough to spoil him. Comes to the front to Hunt, but he gives away a poor old hand pass. And eventually Playfair across the ground, and Chapman takes the mark just outside the 50. Port by 3 points. Just the one goal in this third quarter. Comes short. Gee, that's barely gone the 15 metres. But Slade allowed to take the mark. Foster. Two passes went about 15.
Timmy, right out, thanks. Timmy. Tim, I'm bringing out, thanks.
So Daniel Foster had played 12 games in the AFL this year, so about half and half AFL, VFL. Into the sun. Kicking to the Heatley stand end. Oh, it doesn't clear the man on the mark. The Cardinals in. It spills to Luke Ablett. And now wide open spaces here. Chance for Schneider to run onto it, number 36. With him, McGrath. Oh, Schneider went to ground. McGrath kept his footing. That's fantastic defence by McGrath.
Play when he outsmarted the young bloke.
Slade to Hunt. Oh, look at this. And Foster's got 30 metres up his sleeve. Keeps it low. Poor kick. Bartel can't take the mark. They're under pressure here, the Cats. Down goes Steve Johnson. And it's a free kick to Port.
It's because that's what I've been saying. This free kick, you know, Roscoe, for when the bloke's about to tackle, it's one that's just become a grey area. Look, watch. See that? The hand goes out in the face. Clear decision by the umpire. And it's one that's creeping in a little bit more to the game.
Spotted by the umpire in the middle. Here comes Evans. Switching play.
Gee, torpedo.
Out towards Bennett at wobble. Through the air, chasing him is Mensch. And the boundary line wins. 10 minutes, third quarter. Just 3 points in it. The Borough.
I hope he's fit, Jared Bennett.
I tell you what, he will certainly want to have been well slept last night, because he has travelled to the top of the mountain today.
The ruckman don't hold. Ricks reaches over the top of Playfair. Anstey. Half bounce for Rose. He did pretty well. Back to Anstey. Shielding his eyes from the sun as O'Keefe Slade over the top of the spoil.
It's amazing that Snyder's playing in the Borough forward half, Ross, and McGrath is picking him up. And Snyder, of course, you would regard as a running small.
Yeah, 175 centimetres. There's O'Keefe with Slade. Bartel waiting for the tap down. Playfair. Got a quick kick. Sunquist goes to ground.
Oh,
good give. Anstey, that opens up. On a lead, Stevens in front of White. 70 metres from goal. And another lead from Alloy. With him, Gergic, who makes the spoil well. Alloy, though, chases in front. Slips. Missed with a hand pass. Slade avoided the tackle by hand. And Slade has got... Who's that? Ablett. Centre-win, he takes off with good chase. He's brought down inside 50 it goes. Oh, strong mark to Brett Evans. Playing a great game in defence.
Oh, hasn't he stood up, Ross?
Jared, push up! Jared!
Struggled to hold a spot in the Springvale side a few years back.
Across the ground to Bennett. Port have kicked one goal in this third quarter. Geelong have kicked a couple of behinds. Rose. Kicked by Rose to O'Loughlin at half forward. Almost a one-hander. Hurried over the boundary line by David Johnson and out of play.
Gee, the ball has spent a lot of time in settings like that, out on the wings.
Andrew Carrazzo there with the sling on. Played every game during the year. In the first two finals, broke his arm. He's the only qualified player injured.
You've got to feel sorry for him. Represented the state this year.
Gill!
A fantastic mark, looking into the sun, and this is only about 30 metres out from goal.
That's Gill, isn't it? You know what I said about one extra tall up there, and this bloke just gives them something in the contest. Big grab.
Mark's here.
So Nick Gill, his first possession, nearly the mark of the day. Can he cap it off with a goal? It can!
Oh, there's plenty left in this game of football here at Optus Oval. The Borough just keeps hanging in there. And they keep laying a big challenge to the Cats. The Cats with skill on every line and fully fledged AFL players. Look at this mark to Gill. And what was the Geelong player doing behind? Was he flirting Woolno with the possibility of marking?
Never thought. So Schneider, Gill and Sundquist have all lifted up to first half. O'Loughlin down free kick against Gardner. Laid him into the ground after the first tackle was okay.
Chapman pointing out that the other umpire didn't see it that way.
O'Loughlin, doesn't matter.
Good
Stevens on the lead, but in front Buchanan. Riley creeping over the mark. The Borough lead by 9, halfway through the third quarter. The kick a bit sloppy, looking for Alloy. Sundquist caught by Kelly. Is that high?
Threw the ball, I thought, but I think he's paid it for holding the man.
And it's a loose man taken advantage of. Is it Schneider? It is. Can he? No, it's Gill again. He ducks the head. Phil, I don't know what it was.
Holding the ball it was, Ross. That's what it was.
Who did you tip? Riley.
Holding the ball.
Chasing it over the line. 59 to 50.
Sorry to equivocate with the answer, Ross. Or was he held when he got rid of it? Who knows? Yeah. But it was very interesting, whatever it was.
Tell us what you really think.
Oh, what an opportunity gone begging.
What's the holding?
Another chance here for Port. O'Loughlin went without it. Robertson, foot of the pack, a ball up. Port Melbourne leading by 9 points. Street having a sit down at the moment.
And McCarthy and Chambers. McCarthy's been disappointing. Didn't have a possession in the first half.
He's been taking big high marks through this final series. Luke Ablett. Hand pass to Robertson.
Absolute blinder of a handball.
30 out. Hasn't made the distance. Chance for Gill. Out of bounds.
Wearing the number of Greg Dermott, who played in a host of Borough premierships, played at half-back, centre-half-back. Was a great player for the Borough, played over 200 games and wore number 25. Proudly.
Here's Nick Gill, had a year on Melbourne's list. Gets it to Robertson, who snaps a goal.
Well, maybe Greg Dermott's number is inspiring the boy because he's produced 2 beautiful bits of play. A big mark and then he's handed one over. And the goal has resulted there. Robertson, gee whiz. It's an interesting old game, this.
Come a long way, Glenn Robertson. He spent all of last year in the reserves and he could play in a seniors grand final premiership.
I can tell you what, he's not a bad sports economics student too.
Under your tutelage?
That's right. Bounce in the middle. Mensch is there. Robertson.
15 points for the Cats. Where's the advantage going to come from? Their forwards haven't been able to pluck marks.
Street will be fresh, or fresher, in the last quarter.
Mensch in ruck. Ricks won it. Kelly. McGrath trying to lift his team. Mensch was stationary. Rail's got an option inside. Bartell ignores it. Goes for the lead. And Foster up forward. Has it. He's outside 50. Possibly too far out to score, but he is a big kick.
Pull out a Doug Wade style kick, Roscoe, with that number.
Tight angle, won't be a torpedo. Well, it's the second time, isn't it? He's kicked into the man on the mark. He's just probably not used to shooting on goal, the defender.
Well, look, the facts are that the Cats just are not putting it together. Their original plan of having the tools up forward to take the marks is not working. And when the tools don't mark, you don't get a lot out of them.
Comes to Bartell. They're the 2 Ablett cousins going at each other.
Got it up higher.
Geelong's free kick.
Dead set free kick there to the Cats. We go to Ablett by the looks of it.
Well, it was Gary putting the tackle on Luke.
And he excites the crowd, obviously. I love to see him bang one through. He kicked the first goal of the match. The Cats are still well and truly in the game. I would fancy Port would need to lead by a good 3 goals at 3/4 time to really be a solid chance.
Just 18 years of age. Gary Ablett Jr. It's well right. And it'll only go further right from there for a behind. That's his second behind for the game.
It was 13 points Geelong led by. at the 80-minute mark of the first quarter, so Port have fought back brilliantly.
You
the
tipped
biggest
them to
lead in the
win?
match. I tipped the Cats by 20.
20 points.
So
Drew, you tipped the Cats too?
Not in a tipping competition. I didn't have to tell anybody what I thought.
Ops goes short to McMahon. Out wide.
Perfect there. Got the mark.
Jared Sundquist. Good run from Brockman. Oh, could be 50. It is.
50. Let him go. That is 50 metres.
50.
50 in the meantime. John Clarkson.
Ross, confirmation from the VFL, a crowd of over 11,500, I should say. Biggest crowd in a decade. The people have really grasped the concept of the day and also the match, so it's fantastic.
Well, that is sensational because there have been some AFL crowds here this year that haven't got to 10,000.
Yeah, good stuff. 11,000, that's about, we got about 7, I think, in the late 90s out at Port, so this is a start.
And a half. Brockman gives it to Evans, who unloads. It's going to go right to the square. Big McGrath, what a great quarter he's playing.
He'd have to go on, wouldn't he, Bluey McGrath?
Yeah, so you need him there. As it's great to have players like McGrath playing in the VFL, captaining the side, teaching the young blokes.
He finds Kelly a lead from Gardner, who's run strongly. Good effort by Ops to make the spoil and not give away the free. The Borough have the turnover. Evans, spearing kick into the pocket, over Kelly's head and finding a man in front of Gergich. Alloy, no, it's Phibbs. Can kick some goals. 25 all season in 12 matches. There he is. In front of Johnson.
The ball pop out.
That's what the crowd was saying.
Phibbs
see it.
Kicks to the square. Stevens underneath it. No mark. Out it comes. Under pressure. Cleared by Nartell working back there in defence. 20 minutes into the third quarter. And the Borough surprising most with a tenacious effort, 14-point lead.
And Port Melbourne are missing Ryan Ablett, another one of the cousins, who's their leading goal kicker for the year. Kicked over 50 goals, but he's got a stress fracture of the foot. Hasn't played in the finals. So if they can get over the line without their leading goal kicker, it will be a hell of a feather in their cap. And with Philandia injured in the second quarter, along with McPherson, throw in. Bennett from behind. Comes down to Gardner. Bartell. Here's the 50. Chapman. In plenty of space at half-back flank. Kick by Chapman over the wing to O'Brien. Too far for him, but it now sits up beautifully for him after it was dropped there by Obst. To the goal square. Street couldn't get down there. Ricks is with him. Oh, it's gone through for a behind. The two praying mantises in the goal square, and Street couldn't get a hold of it.
Well, O'Brien was onto it. He's a dashing little player and just about got the ball through the big sticks.
Gee, that was well done by Ricks.
Little short one. Shielding his eyes from the sun. Luke Ablett.
Bennett, look at him.
The target on half forward. 2 up. Bennett had the better judgment. Stands his ground. Kicks towards Buchanan, who got away from Slade. Port running well. Phibbs makes a lead. Here's a strong one from Gill. That poor kick. Josh Hunt. Little give to Bartell, loose in the middle. Outside him, McGrath. Hand pass just made him stretch a bit. Good running in the back, Raleigh. Over Street's head, maybe. Chance for the Borough. It's over everybody. What's the line of the Rover Street? Couldn't get his foot to it. Good pressure, Brockman.
Well, you wouldn't see better at the ballet than that, Roscoe. Have a look at it. Very special. Interesting the way the matchups. You'll notice Jared Bennett runs all the way up the ground. He takes Mensch with him, and Mensch ends up playing almost as a defender.
Evans to Bennett. What a game Jared Bennett's played. Goes short to O'Keefe. Really standing up these Port players. Kick by O'Keefe. And sensational running by Anstey. Kick by Anstey inside the 50. Short of Stevens. Oh, it gets past Woolno. Stevens spins out of trouble. Back outside the 50. Robertson. They're set up again. O'Keefe to the goal square. Oh, Gill went high. Gill!
Oh, can you believe that? That is astounding.
Second goal of the term. To Nick Gill.
I tell you what, he's given him something up there, hasn't he?
Sure has.
And he's been in the contest. I tell you what, he could have maybe given away a free kick, Drew. I don't know how you saw it. Just watch this. Does he push his opponent in the back? Just almost, I reckon, a amount of case for a free kick. And he bangs it through. And just the added toll inside 50. This game is at a very critical moment for the Cats.
Well, they lead by 18 points after trailing by 1 at half-time.
Yeah, 4 goals to 0 they've added. The Cats have got to stand up now. Here comes Brett Evans. He's been great in defence. Robertson's 20 metres in the clear. Chance to steady. Calling for it. Inboard. Up to Gill again. He brought it down front, but David Johnson was there. Across the ground. Play fair.
Oh.
It's Gardner.
What play by O'Keefe.
Intercepts Johnson when he had a certain market of pig. He kicks the touch right O'Keefe. They're on a high.
They're on a roll, Roscoe. They're on a roll. They're on a roll. And Geelong supporters might wonder why the excitement factor's up, but it's just really the facts are that the Borough is the side producing the great football, and the Cats are behind because they're not producing what they should be producing with all these star players. That's the problem for them.
Well, in this quarter, Port Melbourne have kicked 4 goals straight and Geelong 5 behind. So they've actually had more scoring shots, Geelong, but haven't kicked a goal. Buchanan, full of running to the 50. Stevens making a contest of it. It's brought to ground to favour Johnson. Out of defence. Hunt. Ablett in plenty of space. Now surely the Cats will get a goal out of this. He draws a man, gives it over the top. Mitchell White at last gets a goal.
Beautiful play. What the only thing that might have made it better, Drew, is if Ablett had got it back and sunk it out of the Heatley end. But he was almost going to get it back. But I think White turned and he propped for a minute. Then he said, no, I'll go with it. And Ablett, he does this a lot. Creates goals for players. And Mitchell White there, no fuss. Straight out of the back half by the Cats. Good running by Hunt. Look at Ablett. Good thinking. White steadies. What a game we've got on our hands. She's on for young and old here.
In spite of everything, it's just 2 goals the margin. Can the Cats come home? Riley runs away from Anstey. Inside 50 again. Johnson's got a break on Evans, but he fumbles it, and Evans knocks it out of bounds. Deliberately asks Steve Johnson. Been paid. Well, it was there. A brave umpiring decision, but probably the correct one.
The crowd might have given the free.
Oh, Chatfield takes the mark in front of Obst. Deep in the pocket. Now look at Big Street wandering at the back of the pack.
That's it.
Oh, Rick's had him down there before. Where has Rick's gone that he hasn't got him?
He's manning the short man in O'Brien.
Rick's now he's got him, and he should have got him a lot earlier.
He's back with him now. But it doesn't matter because Chatfield has reduced the margin to a goal. The Cats get 2 quick ones, and their supporters come to life.
Well, you know, the thing is too, Ross, that in the Cats' favour is that they haven't probably played very well, have they? When you think about it, and they're still in the game. And there's so many players that haven't really been in it.
I tell you what, Chatfield had 4 years on Carlton's list. Yeah. I wonder how many shots at goal he's had from that pocket at training for the Blues.
You think Jack Elliott took him out there for a few extras and said, if you kick there, you'll be on the list, mate. And he didn't kick them, obviously.
1 kick the difference, and the chant goes up around the ground. High tackle.
Oh, that's not. Gee, that's just lucky. Oh, he's played the other way for fending off. That's different.
So Bartell with the free kick now for the Cats. Deep into the 3rd quarter. In the grand final. Bennett at the back. It slips to the back. Here comes Gary Ablett. Taken out of the corridor. Good with his hands.
Good
Mensch, excellent. Wide again. He's missed it.
Beautiful play, Ablett. Over to Mensch, inside to White. A bit like the Brisbane Lions there, who are grading close. And the Borough
Johnny Clarkson, bit of pressure building, my friends.
Bill, absolutely. It's come alive down here. The atmosphere is electric. Just something to take into account, Geelong have a clean bill of health, no injuries at all. Ryan McMahon having some difficulties with his legs, so they might be down to one on the bench, Port.
Buchanan turned it badly over to Hunt, who found Bartel. Inside 50 again. Alloy back in defence now. Twisting, turning, finding Evans. He remains composed. Oh, he's kicked poorly. Unlock him through Chatfield's hands on that outer wing. Here goes Ryan O'Keefe. No one in front of him. He kicks to the lead to Phibbs. And a good kick too it was, but he's deep in the pocket. 28 and a half minutes gone.
What
in
a
the
turnover
third
by
quarter.
Chatfield. He kicks a goal from the boundary line and then he drops that mark.
And Lachlan gone to the back half for Port Melbourne.
A goal the difference. 28 and a half minutes. Phibbs with 25 goals from 12 games. He can kick them. They need this one to steady it.
Oh, can you believe that,
He runs
Ross?
back to the centre, Ben Phibbs. He's kicked it.
Gee.
Back to 11 points.
Well, what a game. Our Borough supporters are out. The Cat supporters are down at the Heatley stand behind the goals. They're going mental every time the ball goes down there. It's all happening. There's that turnover, Drew, you talked about. And a beautiful long handball. And O'Keefe, he's a good player, this bloke. Good raking left foot. But who'd have thought Phibbs would kick it from there, Roscoe? Did you think he'd kick it?
Not really.
Good.
Well, when Phibbs kicks them from the boundary line like that and Gill hacks one out of the air and kicks a miracle, it just might be your day. And it just might be Port's day with a couple of miracles going their way, and they lead by 11 points, approaching the 30-minute mark of the third quarter.
I reckon if it gets close, though, in the last quarter, the Cats are going to have a bit more endurance with the way the Port players are set up at the moment with injuries.
Yeah, they've got 22 players, and Port may be down to just 19. They've worked it out of the middle pretty well. The kick to centre half forward, the sun in the eyes, that made it hard for Slade. He lost it. Phibbs, kick smothered. Woolno getting back. It's getting away from him. O'Keefe's got him.
It's deliberate off bias. You go.
Yes, deliberately out of bounds, and O'Keefe's
left footer.
Oh, and he's missed it. It's across the face and through for a minor score.
Well, he's a left footer, and of course he thought, bang. This is mine. This is no doubt about the free kick. He's gone there, Woolno, and you'll see O'Keefe, you don't sit there, but he went out onto his left side, thinking he'd open up the goal face, which he did. He didn't sink it.
Crowd take a deep breath. It's been a pulsating third quarter.
Great game of football.
Been tremendous.
5 goals to Port. 280 to Geelong. Loose one. Standing. Alloy. Can he kick from a standing start? It's going to be right to the square. And a rush behind.
Gee, just one fist on the football there. See, the zone defences are out for Port Melbourne. Alloy, whose arms you just saw, is one, and he's right back at centre half back, or he's right up at the goal on the centre square. Hunt is one of the best kicks. Let's see what he does with this kick.
But Geelong have had trouble all day bringing it out of defence. DeLuca at the back, lost sight of it. Chatfield, caught from behind by Anstey. Port Melbourne in numbers, comes to Alloy, beautiful! And a hand pass on quickly, Robertson for goal! Ablett! And it is through for a minor score.
Touched off the boot there to Robertson. Another great interception by the Borough on the kick-ins. You made the point, Drew. Hunt is a great kick, but they're not getting a return. Now they will, because they've got a free player. But Bartel's made a big lead, and they're not going to use him. Good kick.
To Chatfield on the lead Mensch. In front of Bennett, trying to make up yardage. Mensch spins on a sixpence. Wide. Sitting there. Johnson. Oh, that's bad. Tired hand pass, or just missed everyone. Looking for Ablett. Brett Rose right with him. That's been his man all afternoon. Close to three-quarter time. A nice 14-point buffer to the Boroughs. Finished 4th. Everyone thought there were only 3 in it. Except Port Melbourne.
The
they
Port
did
ladies told us otherwise.
They did. They were right. They were better judges. Chambers wins it down. Buchanan, been great. Sunquist. Robinson's in front. McGrath harassing him on the siren. What a quarter to the Boroughs, 5 goals to 2, and they now lead by 14 points after they trailed by 1 point at half-time. And there's the injured Peter Philandia and Daniel McPherson.
Yes, Ross, well, it's an inspiring game of football, there's no question about it. The Borough have just lifted at times. They've in the midfield, players such as Buchanan have really gone up a notch and been critical. O'Loughlin's come into the game as well. The Cats Talls are not been able to assert an influence over the game really, and they've had them, 3 of them at any one time off the ground. But look, it's set up beautifully. I still fancy that the Cats will come home better than the Port side, given the fact that Port have got 2 medium-sized small players unable to take the field. You'd reckon that would put the scales in Geelong's favour, but at every point where they've been under pressure, the Borough have fought back. So we are in for an absolutely fantastic last quarter. If the Cats get up, it'll be fantastic. If the Borough holds on, it'll be fantastic. Been great football, Drew.
Absolutely sensational. And here are the quarter-by-quarter scores, and 5 goals to 2-6 in the third quarter, and a 1-point lead at half-time for Geelong turned into a 14-point deficit at the last change. 12-8 to 9 goals 12. And the goal kickers, Stevens 2, Gill kicked 2 miracles. Well, one was a miracle in that third quarter, and the rest all in singles. And Geelong, well, they've managed 9 goals, and they've all come in singles. Mitchell White was a one-time All-Australian, Premiership player and leading goal kicker for the West Coast Eagles, and he got a goal in that third quarter, but they didn't get enough. Ron Watt now at three-quarter time.
Grand Final celebrations. And Port Melbourne supporters, you can go to TIAC Oval, Port Melbourne to celebrate with all players.
Street, you going to be right? We need you out there, mate. We need you out there. We need the mids really working, all right? You feeling all right? Yeah. Okay. You got plenty lifting here? All right, let's just get in our groups just for a minute. Fucking on our groups. Go too wide, boys. Get the ball. We'll just play all the way through.
Well, he's not quite ready to get to the group as a whole, so they've gone into forwards, midfielders and defenders.
Oh, these are tense times in a grand final. They're a tense time in any game. You're at a grand final, you're in the huddle. David Dunbar looking at his team, Drew. He's thinking, can we hang on? Is it all too good to be true? And we're going to get pipped in the last quarter. What can I do to ensure we win? And I think that's Fred Cook at the back of the crew there. See that?
Yeah, that's Fred.
I'm pretty sure
John
that's
Longmire.
Fred Cook. John Long, Peter Saltrey, the president, has brought Fred Cook down. 140 goals, Fred Cook, in 1982 when the Borough won the Premiership. He was unstoppable. What a performance by the Borough.
Let's bring it in, boys. Come on.
You see Peter Philandia out there with a tracksuit top on. He's the captain, also an assistant coach. Injured in the second quarter, won't play anymore.
That's what the game's all about, winning possession of the footy, and that's what we did in that third quarter. We've still got to get back onto that. Lock onto it again for this last 30 minutes. For fuck's sake, fellas, win the ball. Win the ball. That's what it's all about in those 50-50 contests. Throw yourself in. We don't get it, they don't get it. That's got to be your mentality. Centre breaks, not much in that. Takeaways, not much in that. Inside 50s, locked up pretty even then. Okay, thing was we took our opportunities when we went forward. Got to kick our goals, boys, all right? Tackles, up again. 15 that quarter. Terrific stuff there, all right? Let's just keep that going. All right, this is the lineup. Evans, Brockman, Rose, Gill, Bennett, Ops. Once again, we're going to have to look here and see what happens, what they do with White and McCarthy. So we've got Shooter there on the back burner to bring on if they have a small down there. So, Nick, you've got to have a look at that. You gave us something up forward. We want to try and work you back there. Sonny on the wing, Rhino Cooper, Ricky O'Loughlin. Robbo, you'll change with Sam here, so you keep doing that lock on roll, okay? Scotty Stevens across there and Snides. Bibsy, you give us something.
Meanwhile, Ron Watt, they trail by 14.
If you do the work and you get a result, you'll be fantastic. You'll love what you get. But we've got 30 minutes where we've really just got to dig deep. We want to move the ball quickly. We want to move it direct. And we want to make sure that we hit our targets we're presenting down deep, right? Get it in there long term, give an opportunity. We've got a couple of big marking targets down there. We've got Menchie, we've got Maddie. Mitchell's going to present for us. So we've got plenty of big targets down there. Let's get her in as quick as we can. Have plenty of quick movement through the midfield. Basics, boys. Team rules. The process doesn't change. It's just about attitude. Do you reckon we can run over the top? Come on. Let's make sure we do. Come on.
Interesting, isn't it? David Dunbar took the winning of the ball and I reckon ultimately the winning of the ball in those tight contests was critical. But Ronnie Watt took the tools into the game, Drew, and they haven't fired. And when you get in a situation when you're seeing here that the way Port were good in close, it's just they've really unsettled the Cats with the way they've been in tight, handing the ball off, finding some run, and then occasionally things like this, Gill bobbing up. The Cats' big blokes have just not been able to exert any influence over the game, and Mensch has struggled as well. Bennett's had his measure all day. We've not seen McCarthy do a thing, have we?
No.
Play fair, nothing. So there's the problem. And then Ronnie Watt says, well, I've got all these tools. What am I going to do with them? He sits them on the bench. So the whole original game plan, and now he says in this last quarter, we've got to drive it and we've got to find those targets. But Port just a bit more evenly balanced over the ground, you know, talls, mediums, smalls.
And David Dunbar thought Nick Gill had given him something on the forward line.
Wow.
Given him something? What about this?
Fair dinkum. And he said to him that he might end up in the back half, so we'll keep an eye on that. Did he give him something? Well, my word, he did. He gave him a chance to win the premiership. That's what he gave them.
Well, I reckon he's kicked the goal of the day and he's taken the mark of the day in the grand final.
And he was in amongst it as well. This was great play. Yabble it. There he goes. Beautiful setup over the top. He was nearly going to get it back. He could have got it back if he kept running, but he decided to just give it to White. White just said, bang, I'll fix it up. And what about that just over 200? So not much in all of the areas. She's pretty tight. She's a pretty tight game everywhere. Mark's more Port Melbourne's way. Unbelievable. Roscoe down there with you. How's it look, boys?
Yeah, Ron Watt, pretty cool, calm and collected. Got perhaps a slight breeze. 3 tools down there, Mensch, McCarthy and Mitchell White, who's having his legs rubbed. Bit tired, but just hoping they've got the legs to run on, kick it long to the square. John.
Port Melbourne, they were quite relaxed in there. The senior core, a group, got their players together, and they're very confident they can run the 30 minutes out, and they're desperate to win the game.
Street, brilliant in the ruck to Bartel, but James Bartel not going anywhere. Some of the stats to three-quarter time. Firstly for Port Melbourne, O'Loughlin with 19, Bennett 18, Buchanan 17 possessions. And for Geelong, the leading possession winner on the ground is James Riley with 21, ahead of Bartel and Slade 17 and McGrath 15. Advantage. So it's against Street in ruck, and the kick is perfect by Sundquist, and the mark taken by Phibbs. Now, if Port can get the first goal of this last quarter and make the margin 20 points, boy, will the Cats get the shakes.
Oh, will they ever? Will they ever?
Ben Phibbs, who kicked a goal in the third quarter from the boundary line. This one is right in front, and the distance shouldn't bother him. He'll kick from about 45 metres. Phibbs. And he's missed it to the right-hand side, and you could hear the sigh of relief all the way down from Corio Bay. Everybody in Geelong was blowing that sideways.
And Gill has gone to the back line. He's picking up McCarthy. So after playing like Gary Ablett for a quarter, it's the other side. He's got the shift.
Kick in by Hunt.
Oh,
gee.
Oh, tackle.
Chapman dragged down from behind. Then he puts on a tackle. O'Keefe, number 5, goes off the ground wide for Phibbs, who's got a break on McGrath. Phibbs balks him. Centres it. Tried to centre it. Still out near the boundary line. Oh! Terrific Mark Robertson.
How did that happen? 2 players to beat. Hunt goes under it. Was he pushed? And then he marks it. Unbelievable.
And they've come in short and centred the ball across the ground to Sundquist. He goes straight down to the goal square where O'Loughlin takes the mark. And Ricky is about 40 metres from goal.
Oh.
It's a fair game here by Ricky O'Loughlin, because previous times we've seen him, he hasn't touched the leather all that often.
I reckon he has done some remarkable things today. He's won 50-50 contests. He's saved contests. He's been creative. What a shot this is. This would really put massive pressure on the Cats. Massive pressure. And he's the sort of bloke who's likely to stick it straight over the goal umpire's head.
Hasn't scored today. O'Loughlin, it's right. All the way for a behind. So 2 let-offs there for Geelong. Set shots by the Borough going nowhere in the opening few minutes.
Josh Hunt. Is he going to go more direct? Gets a lead from Chatfield, but there's another one, Raleigh, to Hunt. And Johnson's found some space. Lachlan ran forward. Work set for Steve Johnson. It didn't take off. Good tackle. Got the hand pass out just in time. The Cats in numbers. Raleigh ran well to make the contest, as did Hunt. There's a lead from Kelly. That's ignored. Hunt prefers the longer option. Won't get to Mensch. That slipped through the hands of McMahon, who's down. He might be hurt.
Ooh, Mensch just crunched.
To Rose. Hooks it back. Good vision. Found Anstey. Very good kick. Anstey. Waste no time. Out wide to O'Loughlin, who's now clear. He's a bit tired too and couldn't bend to keep it in.
Gee, that was an opportunity lost, wasn't it? Two free players. Sorry, Ross.
That's right. McMahon's up. He's on his feet, but he's just feeling.
He's on his feet, but he doesn't know how many feet he's got.
That's right. Ricks did well. Riley's had a good couple of minutes. Chapman in front. He's held by McMahon. No free. Umpire right there. Still it sits for Geelong. Hunt doing his all. Kicks towards Mensch. One of those 3 tools. He's got it. Did he? Almost. Bennett. Ablett pounces on it. Gives it to Mensch. Will it sit for him? It does. He's chased. He's Harris. He's got time. He swings it round the shoulder. David Mensch. That's a great goal from the veteran. He's kicked 53 for the year prior to this match. And that's his second.
Well, Ablett set it up too. I tell you, he was stiff not to get paid the mark. And, you know, the coach, Ron Watt, had said at 3/4 time to Menchie, you got to do something for us. You got to be there. Bennett knows he's in trouble. Look at Bennett. He thinks, my man here, I've got to go after him. And he loses him. And he swings it around. And just what the doctor ordered.
10 points the margin. Street up a mile. Comes to Riley. Leading possession winner on the ground. Past White it goes. Getting back in defence, Evans. He's lost control of it. Chapman goes to ground.
Back.
Free kick to Chapman. Well, we've seen a couple of goals kicked from over near this spot today. You wouldn't think that Lightning could strike 3 times. In short. Rose. Did Rose get a hand to it? No. McCarthy goes back with his hand pass. Chatfield off the left. To the top of the goal square. Mensch is in the marking contest. It comes to O'Loughlin. Pokes it out short. It's dangerous. Chatfield. And just over the boundary line. 82-72. 6 minutes into the last quarter of the grand final.
12-10, 10-12. Bit of symmetry, Phil. It's going to go down to the wire. There's straight in ruck, but it's stolen by Phibbs. He clears to wing. Robertson at the back with a spoil. Couldn't affect it. Good mark. Brings down his man. It's 50, is it? They've been hot.
The
yes,
captain, Roscoe.
McGrath. They've been consistent, haven't they?
Yes.
Every time.
Yes.
It's a second tackle.
And you know what I think about blokes after they've marked the ball, Ross?
Yeah, we know.
So let's not go there then. But what a kick it is for McGrath.
Blue McGrath.
Yes, it was great. We had him at that grand final luncheon that Coburg ran on Wednesday. Came down from Geelong. Great ride-up from Greg Bourne, and I think an expectation of what was going to be a great final. Captured the mood of the time, and we have got it. And how special this would be if he sunk this goal for the Cats.
5 goals only for the year from Tim McGrath. He kicks it, and they're back within 4 points. 2 early goals for the Cats within 7 minutes. And that'll give them a sniff. That'll lift their thoughts. The body language for a 3/4 time wasn't sensational. They were trying, but there was just that anxiety amongst them, you could tell.
Yes, I think if they hit the front, you know, with Port short on players to manoeuvre, I think they could be in trouble.
Bounce in the middle. Street had to make a real stretch for it. Comes to Bartell, who loses it. Now Bartell, the tackler. John Clarkson on the boundary.
very quickly. Danny O'Brien back on for Geelong to try and sneak another goal into the forward pocket there with David Johnson off. So it's a bit of a change in atmosphere down here, but what a fantastic game.
Caught by 4 points at the 8-minute mark. Street up a long way. Comes down to Anstey. Ablett, number 20. Chatfield went without it. Gary Ablett, number 29. Past White it goes. There's O'Brien. And being picked up by Rose. Possession won by Rose. Well played, Raleigh. He's had a couple of outstanding weeks in the prelim and the grand final. James Raleigh. He kicks short of full forward. Extra mark!
Indeed it is.
Steve Johnson. About 3 pairs of hands on it.
Dead set mark.
So Steve Johnson, who has played 12 games at AFL level for Geelong this year. Boy from Wangaratta. He was drafted last year. Bit of confusion between the Johnsons. David Johnson is the brother of Mark Essendon's. Steve goes short, and the mark is taken by O'Brien on the edge of the square to make a certainty of it, you would think. And a straight kick will put the Cats in front.
No one picking him up.
And we saw that Rose was his man. And Rose, their best and fairest a couple of years ago. Danny O'Brien right in front. He's given it a bit of a hook, but he's still got it. Cats lead after trailing by 16 points earlier in the last quarter.
Well, it's going to take something special now, I think, for the Borough. Pretty hard. You're looking at them. Some of those blokes in the midfield just struggling a little bit. Ryan O'Keefe, he's worked very hard. The Cats now with the crowd going with them. Amazing. A lot of Geelong supporters here.
20 years of emotion for both sides. Just at the minute, Geelong with it. Robertson couldn't get his foot to it. Chatfield was good to Ablett. Turns quickly, kicks to the tools. McCarthy's been quiet. Made a contest. McMahon in strongly. Gee, they're keen on it. Loose ball. McCarthy went to soccer. He would have kicked his teammates' hands off, so he pulled back. And Rose saves the day. Or does he? Through Kelly's hands. It sits back there for the big fellow, Peter Street. He gives it off. Back to Kelly's court, but he gets a kick. Short half volley. Johnson, he's got Ablett, William Evans. Oh, back to Johnson on the angle. Across the face of goal, Mink slips, and Bennett did well to rush the behind.
How's he gone, Bennett?
Not bad. Not bad at all.
With all of the pressure now on Port Melbourne.
The Cats scoreline looks pretty ordinary at 12 goals, 13, but I have 5 of those behinds rushed. Comes to Robertson, hand pass to Buchanan. Goes for a good run, Eamon Buchanan. Over the wing, approaching half forward. Still got the strength left to kick left-footed. 30 metres from goal. DeLuca's there, and a ball up. Alloy. Now, if Port can get this out of the stoppage, could they get another goal and get their noses back in front? But after trailing by 16, the Cats have rushed on 3 quick goals to lead. Raleigh, outstanding. Back to centre wing. Robertson. Into DeLuca, over his head. And the mark taken by Sundquist. Late change for Port today. Kick by Sundquist. Oh, that is a fantastic mark taken by Will Slade. 3-point lead to the Cats. They have the footy, they have the momentum, and by the sounds of it, they have the crowd support.
Steve Johnson, dinky little kick, allows Ablett to get in and make the spoil on Chatfield. Just relax a bit, Phil, I thought there.
Yes.
John Clarkson.
Mitchell White off for Geelong, certainly not injured, but the weather being so warm, dehydration starting to be a factor, so watch for continued rotations in the last quarter.
A lot of attention to his legs. Getting rubbed at 3/4 time, Mitchell White. O'Keefe steals it from the throw-in. Awkward bounce, deliberately out of bounds from Hunt. I don't think they'll penalise that one. That'd be really brave, Phil.
Yeah, well, how do you distinguish, Ross? Tricky, isn't it? It's a ball bouncing up high like that, but I suppose I'd say there's a contest impending there.
Haven't got clean possession of the ball. Somehow they distinguish, Phil. Gill's in ruck. Oh, strong contest. Schneider got knocked out. Kelly, hands and knees, picks up. Will he be tackled? After the whistle has gone.
Easy, guys.
Halfway through the final term. Buchanan was hard at it. Again, the crowd just takes a deep breath. The Borough in attack. Haven't kicked a goal this term. Big Peter Street up there. Well done, Slade, to get his foot to the ball quickly. Robertson can't get round the tackler. That's Riley making a contest. Now that Geelong with numbers. Kelly coming, getting better and better. Kick to the wing. Kick to half forward. On the lead, McCarthy. Slips through. Chapman finds some space. Hooks to the square. There's no one there. Will it bounce straight and through? It sits there. Ablett looking man. In the side it was. He's around. He's caught. High tackle, says the umpire. Lucky. I think Ablett thinks it's lucky too. So that umpire saying in the side, that was a push earlier against Ablett.
Gee, that's a lucky free kick.
It certainly was.
There was a first grab, I suppose. It might have been on the shoulder, but it was only fleeting.
Kicked the first goal of the match. He's hooked it. He likes it. Is he trying to kid the umpire? He must be. 1-3 to Gary Ablett Jr., who missed last week with a sore calf. Back into that.
Gee, just got to wonder where Port can pinch the game from. All the pressure on them now.
Blood rule, so the umpire screaming out, hold it.
Oh, Jared Bennett too. Fancy losing him under the blood rule at this point in the game. 16 minutes in.
They want to make this quick, because Port already without Valandia and McPherson, who left the ground in the second quarter. A couple of key small midfielders. But Bennett has been sensational against the talls that the Cats have thrown at Port today.
They put Ricks on. He's gone to the forward line, and they're putting someone else down to the back. Alloy, gee, who's going to pick up Mensch?
David Johnson
surely
charges
Gill
on for the Cats. Gary Ablett stretching the hamstrings. Players taking this chance to get themselves set for the last 15 minutes of the game. John Clarkson.
Blood rule change. That's the reason for the slight delay with Mitchell White coming back onto the ground now.
And Riley going off for the Cats.
Yes, well, Bennett's having a bit of strapping put around the knee, so he'd be just about ready to go back on after all of that. It's wonder they couldn't even do that on the ground.
Well, here's Obbs bringing the ball back into play with confidence. Obbs kick to centre wing. Mensch camped under it and juggles. Can't take the mark. Hand pass back to Bartell. Now to Steve Johnson. Round the corner he goes. Good kick. Mark taken by Chapman. Cats by 4 points. Chapman inside the 50. Mitchell White just on the ground. Takes the mark. It has been a good spot today over there. Could White kick a freak goal from near the boundary line to make it even safer for Geelong? Led the goal kickers one year for the Eagles. Kick by White. Oh, it's pretty good. It is a sensational kick by White, but just offline. Not much in it. He's kicked 1 goal too. So Port still within a kick.
Yes, but it just... the mood of the game seems to be favouring the Cats now. Port are going to have to score goals. But look, 12 goals, it's not a big high scorer.
5 more scoring shots to Geelong. They're kicking to the, I'd call it the psychological scoring end. Oh, that's tight, isn't it, McMahon?
The umpire actually went to the boundary line to get a line on it.
But he said it's legal.
I couldn't see, I think he was saying.
McMahon. Brockman the target. Over the top was Gill. Ablett was strong at the ball. Shrugs the tackle. He's pushed down, advantage to Woolnow. Will it be? Chatfield.
Oh,
no, it's Gardner. been pretty quiet. He's got loose men. Johnson, Steve, good mark. Brought down two, but maybe lucky is Buchanan. David Mintz says, steady, Steve Johnson. Have a shot.
Well, there were 3 Borough players going for the mark on that kick from the back line, and they should have marked it. One of them should have marked it. They should have got cover. They're all caught in the contest.
Port just 2 behind this quarter. Geelong. They've come from 14 points down. They kick 3. Johnson gives it his all. It's on the line, still in play. Loose ball. Is there a foot there? It's Mintz. Oh, David Mintz! That's a brilliant goal. He might have clicked from the flag on that early days, but he's kicked his 3rd, 2 in this quarter, and that is great, Phil.
Well, it's a match-winning goal, isn't it? Bennett's had his measure all day, but he's just slipped away, and Bennett not with him on that occasion. He went off on the blood rule. But certainly, look at Mensch here. Oh, over the shoulder, and Bennett's just there watching. And the floodgates are opening for the Cats. 18 minutes in, and they're looking very dangerous.
4 goals, 3 they've added in this last quarter to 2 behinds. Bartell at full stretch. Chatfield couldn't take the mark. We're on the 50. Umpire let it go for a fair while. Now Port need 2 goals to win. Past the 19-minute mark last quarter. Everything going the Cats' way.
The last 2 goals, Port, were miracle goals. Phibbs from the boundary and Gill from that soccer volley.
And you think if blokes are going to be kicking goals like that, it's nearly going to be your day. Mitch gets the hand pass away, and Steve Johnson.
Gee, that's fantastic play. You've got to take your head off to Mensch, really, Drew, don't you? Because he's been held, and it's just a great thing to see the bloke come good like that, isn't it? When it was really tight, I see Rob Oles there in the crowd too getting excited. He was a bit nervous at half-time when I spoke to him. I don't know if you heard, Ross, they were considering retrospective legislation if they lost, but he won't have to think about it now. That was great play.
Not unless there's a miracle. 20 minutes on the clock. Momentum all with the Cats. Can Port mount one last charge? 2 key players, McPherson and Philandia, off the ground, injured. Sunquist an inclusion. He has it stolen by Kelly. The Cats are hot. Up goes Gill. He spills it. It's a loose one for Gardner. He's away from O'Loughlin. Suspect letting hand pass.
Gone.
Bench coming through like a train has clipped Gill high.
Well, on the basis of that, there should be a 50-metre penalty, I would have thought. It's after the ball.
After the ball is over.
Yeah.
And Evans with a free kick. Little short one into Buchanan. Tried his heart out. Luke Ablett, maybe a target. Robertson. Bennett's up there. Robertson goes short. Ablett goes wide. That's the direction. Or is it? It's Stevens with his 3 Cats there. But Stevens maybe got the second grab. Bartell's got him.
Didn't look to me like he had it.
It didn't really, did it?
No, I think.
Yeah. 21 on the clock.
Oh, it's amazing, isn't it? In 1980, Ross, we played Port out at the Junction. We led all day and they stormed home in the last 10 minutes, just like the Cats are doing. Won by a kick and a half. And the Borough is on the receiving end of that right now.
Street is being penalised if Chapman's not allowed to go, and he isn't. Gives it straight to Bennett. Doesn't run across in front of him. The man on the mark, 52 metres from goal. Port trail by 17. Bennett's going to try and go the distance. Good hook, right to the line. And Ross behind. McGrath says, I touched it.
He's been inspirational, this bloke, Bennett. I mean, Mensch has got on top of him, but if that had just snuck through, what a goal it would have been.
Chatfield kicks in. McGrath takes the mark. And you have to think about all those Geelong supporters, and we had a cutaway of the crowd a short time ago. All the heartbreaks they had down at Geelong. The grand finals under Malcolm Blight, and then Gary Ayres, and they kept on losing them all. And at last, Geelong looked like they might get a premiership here in the VFL. Comes to the front. Wool knows the hand pass away. Bartell, the kick short of half forward. Bounces awkwardly. Picked up by Obst. Out wide to the boundary line, Sundquist. And he's taken over the line by Kelly. And the Cats fans are starting to celebrate now.
Oh, aren't they ever?
Malcolm Blight had him in 3 grand finals. They lost by a little bit, a reasonable amount, and a hell of a lot in the 3. And Gary Ayres as well. So been frustrating times, but the best thing about this is that these kids have had some experience at AFL level, and won't Mark Thompson be licking his chops with the players that he'll have for the next year or 2 or 3 at Geelong. Bennett. Whoa! O'Loughlin playing it right out, Ricky O'Loughlin.
Well, he probably should have laid the tackle, you know, but he went for the big bump. It wasn't bad. Poor. Yeah, that was nice and fair. You couldn't complain about that. Kelly has a whistle.
Yeah, Kelly had the ball.
Yeah.
16 points the difference. It had been 16 Port's way earlier this quarter, but the Cats have stormed home in the last quarter. A punch by Obst. Mensch has been outstanding in the last term. White from near the boundary line. McCarthy's hardly taken a mark all day and can't mark this either. Punched away from him. Comes to Buchanan. Eases out of defence. Kick by Buchanan to centre wing. Bartell! Mark of the day, James Bartell.
Look at those Cat supporters out there, Drew. They are going mad with excitement. They've got plenty of them here today. That's a great grab.
Yeah, he stretched every one of those 184 centimetres, Phil.
He did.
Or it was 186 when he took it.
Yeah.
Kicks to 50, and Bennett takes the mark, stretching over Mitchell White. Hasn't given up. Been superb.
He's been a Goliath. It's just astounding performance by him. Even though Mensch, to his credit, has bobbed up in the last quarter with a couple of match-winning pieces of work.
Short to O'Loughlin. Inside Robertson. O'Loughlin feigns a hand pass. Kicks long. Looking for Stevens. McGrath worries him out of it. Loose ball now. The race is on. Pushed to the line by Hunt was good. Bluey McGrath going like a train. And in front of those rapturous Geelong supporters, draw great applause. 25 and a half. Hunt in the hands of the trainer. Perhaps he's having hamstring spasm or whatever. Perhaps he's having apoplexy. Not his hammy, just was very sore last week, cramped. He's cramping in the calf, I think, Josh Hunt. Street there in the ruck. Young Michael Ricks with him.
Straight at it.
Could finish up being a legend in the game, Peter Street.
Down, looking for Chatfield. Buchanan. 2-on-1 with Chatfield. Buchanan still there. Got a high tackle. Duck the head, said the umpire. Robertson paddles it out. O'Keefe over the top. No chance for Ablett. Got the hand pass. O'Loughlin. Clear space. Ignores Robertson. Good smother Chatfield, but still O'Loughlin.
No.
Wrong foot kick into Gill on the 50. Gives it to O'Keefe. Goes for the long one. 2-on-2. Is there a mark? There is. Gerges takes the mark in the front of the pack.
Just reached that point where the Cats are just not going to let it slip, you reckon, now.
Had to do better, O'Keefe, than that.
Yes, it was such a good kick, Drew. You'd think he would have pinged that, wouldn't you?
This is David Johnson. Approaching the 27-minute mark of the last quarter. A fantastic grand final in the VFL. What a final series it has been. McGrath, outstanding, unmarked at halfback. Runs it to the centre of the ground. Ablett, hand pass away. McCarthy, another one coming up for the Cats. It's away to Gardner, and Charlie Gardner kicks another one.
Well, they've been unstoppable. But I think, Drew, I did say it. I thought if they got into the last quarter and Port didn't have a big enough lead, I thought the pressure would be too great for them, you know, because they've just got a full book of players. Port, with those 2 players missing, really struggled to rejig the side and find an attacking manoeuvre. They had to kick goals, the Borough. They just haven't been able to. And the Cats and the roar of the crowd, it's been fantastic, hasn't it? The crowd have been so involved in the game.
11,500 seeing the Cats win their first flag of any kind since 82, a VFL Reserves flag. Likewise, Port looking for their flag. Street got it out of the middle. Mensch couldn't grab it. DeLuca. Evans has been good. O'Loughlin still finding space, still running. O'Keefe leads wide. O'Loughlin prefers to go back into the middle. Looking for Ablett, but chopping it off. Well, almost was David Johnson. Ablett gives it to Evans. Evans from 50. Evans goes long. Tide kick.
He should have handed the ball off too. He made a big error there. He should have handed the ball off. I think that was it Buchanan who was running alongside him. I'll tell you in a minute.
McGrath to Johnson. Port led by 14 points at three-quarter time. Kicked a couple of behinds early, and the siren started to sound, but with the timekeeper got nervous on the button.
It's not the Geelong Flyer, is it?
And there it is. It's a premiership to Geelong in the VFL. What a win by the Cats, coming from behind in the last quarter.
Yes, they kept them goalless, Drew, in the last quarter.
They played the wrong theme song. They played Port's theme song for Geelong's premiership, and they hurriedly got rid of that. And here we go.
Oh, they're pretty excited, so they should be. Great game, full of suspense. Behind at three-quarter time, the Cats, and then a fantastic last quarter. 6-goal last quarter, wasn't it? From 9 to 15, is that right?
Yep, 6 goals,
6
three
goals, didn't let
3 behind. What celebrations going on here, and the trip down the highway to Corio Bay will be okay tonight.
Yeah, some big performances too, Drew, and you can't go past David Mensch. 2 goals I think he got in that last quarter, the big fella, and he gave one off as well. It was a third one. Johnny Clarkson, you got Tim McGrath.
Geelong successful captain Tim McGrath. Premiership captain Tim, congratulations. How do you feel? Take us through it.
Mate, it's unbelievable. This is better than having kids, I tell you, mate. We planned this from the start of the year. We thought we had the best side all year. And those blokes, they stuck together. They gave it everything they had, and we come home the winner. Fantastic.
When did you think you had him, Tim?
Oh, about 5 minutes to go. We kicked that last goal, we were home then.
Back to you, boys.
Thanks, John. Well, he can hardly speak, Tim McGrath. He's played 226 AFL games. He played in 3 losing grand finals there, but a winner here today.
Well, it makes the competition look, you know, makes it bigger and more important too, and it's great to have people like that so excited about a premiership. And wasn't he excited?
Look at the crowd around. 11,500 at the grand final. And, well, the support that it's had from TXU and the mix between AFL players coming back into the VFL competition, well, it has just gone ahead leaps and bounds this year. And look at that for a scenes at the end of a grand final.
Yes, well, people like Graham Yates have come out saying that the rules ought to be changed to make it a bit harder to qualify. So we'll see how that evolves. I think the VFL obviously are conscious about that. But the competition's certainly gone up a notch, Drew. There's no doubt about it. The standard of football during the finals was just remarkable. And the tribalism, you know, I kept talking about that tribalism, but the Cats, I think, brought the tribalism into the finals in a big way, didn't they? Johnny, what have you got this time?
Absolute pandemonium down here, Peter Street, premiership. Premiership today, 208 centimetres through it. Take us through it.
We played a poor 3 quarters. We knew we played to our best in the last. We come up with the goods.
Great atmosphere. Back to you, boys.
That's a tough interview to do, really.
Take us through it. He wants him to write a book, Johnny Clarkson, on the game. He'll have him writing an essay before it's over. So many people on the ground. We've been blessed. And
22 points they won by in the end. It really was a closer game than that.
Well, I was just at the end, without any disrespect to the Cats, I didn't think it would have been fair, Drew, if they'd banged another couple on. It just wouldn't have quite represented the difference between the sides, would it? It would have, Port had really battled hard. But I did think, I said to you during, I think, the third quarter, Geelong hadn't played well, had they?
No.
And they were still in the game. And I think that was a big worry for David Dunbar, that the minute they did click,
it was going to be big strife for Port, and they needed to be a fair few goals in front, I reckon, to hang on. But it wasn't to be. It was a great performance by the vanquished. But look at the Geelong colours.
Now we have the presentation of the cups and best player on the ground as the winners come over to the stage in front of the grandstand here. Have you ever seen so many blue and white hoops in all your life? And Ross Booth is down there in amongst it. Ross.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. What a magnificent win by the Geelong Football Club, their first premiership since 1982. We've got all their presentations coming up shortly, but firstly, can we make the announcement of the best on ground, the Norm Goss medalist, games to James Riley. James, please come forward. The medal will be presented by Mr. Rob Sharp of TXU. Well done, James. We'll have a word in a minute, James. Now, Mr. Neil Busy is going to come forward to present the cup and coach to Geelong. So let's welcome on stage Captain Tim McGrath and the coach Ron Watt. Here comes Ron Watt. Mr. Rob Sharp of TXU to present the Premiership Cup. Tim, just a couple of minutes before we go off air, but then we'll present all the individual medallions. A few words for the Geelong supporters and the opposition.
Yeah, just thank Port Melbourne for a great game. They've had a super year, and it's a credit to their coaching staff that they can get the players from 700 kilometres apart and bring them into a good team. Thanks to all the people at Geelong Footy Club. These blokes, they've been super. The Geelong Footy Club's really going to go places with these young blokes. You know, just get behind them, they're great. Just thanks to my family, Noreen, and my parents, all my kids. It's been super, and thanks for all the support.
And a quick word before ABC and Foxtel are off the air from Ron Watt, the coach. Come on, Ron. We've got a long history in local football, third year in the association, and history with Geelong West. Congratulations.
Thanks, Ross. Yeah, just like to thank the VFL and all the boys are terrific, and yeah, we at Geelong think this is a stepping stone for bigger things, and I think you'd agree the way the boys played today, they were great.
They were fantastic. Ron Watt, the coach of the Geelong Football Club, and the captain, Tim McGrath. Ladies and gentlemen, in just in a moment we'll present the individual medallions to the players. We might start that now. And Mr. Neil Busy is going to present the medallions in numerical order. Number 3, James Bartell. Come on, James. Walk across. Walk across so I can get a good photo of you. Number 9, James Kelly. Number 10, Mark Woolnow. Number 16, Mitchell White. Sorry, number 19, Mitchell White. Can't count. Now number 16, Charlie Gardner. Number 20, Steve Johnson. Number 22, Henry Playfair. Number 23, Daniel Foster. Number 25, Brent Gergich. Number 26, Matthew McCarthy. 28, David Johnson. Number 29, Gary Ablett Jr. Number 31, David Mensch. Number 31, our non-golf medalist, James Rowley. Number 35, Paul Chapman. Number 36, Peter Street. Number 37, Adam Chatfield. Number 41, Josh Hunt. Number 42, Paul Chambers. Number 43, Daniel O'Brien. And number 46, Will Slade.
And that was the final medal given out. And boys, you couldn't have asked for more. The weather, the crowd, and the best grand final we've had in years.
Well, you know, Drew and I were talking about it at the finish, and I think Drew's just been with us this year and seen a fantastic final series, and I've been with it a long time, and you're right, Drew, one of the best grand finals. Takes me back to 1990 with, you know, Williamstown winning in the last gasp. It was just, the standard of football was brilliant, and Geelong, I always thought in the last quarter they're going to be a danger.
I did think so, but best VFL or AFL. Grand final for a long time. Just a great game of footy in the balance up until the last, say, 10 minutes.
And the heroics too, like Mensch bobs up, you know, is the old brigade, and he struggled and he kicks the 2 goals and he gives one away, and then Bluey McGrath gets the 50-metre penalty, so there was something kind of great about that. It was just seemed right, didn't it?
We had snap goals from the goal square, goals from the boundary line, marks of the day. Just
it happened everywhere. Great tackles.
And look at that crowd.
I just think, and you know, we add a dimension too, don't we? Like, we've been down at Port seeing beautiful scenes, but isn't it lovely to see all the people on the ground? And you mentioned, Drew, the hoops at the finish. I've never seen a picture like that, have you? Like, I mean, it was just rare. So I hope someone had a photograph going.
David Dunbar would be disappointed, though, because I thought Port really contained them for much of the match. Just that final quarter, they were blown away.
Yeah, I think he'd be disappointed. He lost those 2 players, and that made it really hard for him to shunt the side around.
Philandia and McPherson. And don't forget also, they had Ryan Ablett, their leading goal kicker, who didn't play finals at all. Okay, nobody goes through a whole season and doesn't have any injuries, but there were some excuses for it.
And the test, I think, Bev, is that he held them early. He had to hold them for the first quarter and the second, or else the floodgates were, if they got in front early, it was all over. So it was a remarkable effort by them to hold them. But in the end,
feeling in the final quarter, they'd also run out of legs a little bit.
Yeah, of course, without a doubt. And these blokes, they're primed. These are full-time professional footballers, you know, super fit.
Well, I can't imagine that any of you wouldn't want your own personal copy of this grand final. And if you would like to get it here, you can get it at the ABC TV sales. Copies of the grand final. There are your contact points. I'd certainly want one of those in my collection. What about you, Drew?
Well, it'll be a sporting classic that you can hang on to for years, because they don't come much better than that.
Well, boys, it's been fantastic, a great year. He seems to have been our lucky charm this year. Terrific finals, terrific matches.
I've loved it.
Will you come back and do it again next year? And you too?
Yeah, I'll come back, and I'm going to celebrate. I think I might party tonight with you too. Are we partying?
Yeah, we'll wear heaps.
We'll wear hoops. It could be dangerous. Thanks, too, for your company right throughout the year. It's been a sensational season. You have a great evening. Thanks and good night.